whereas you try to recruit.
Okay.
And so as the human groups have expanded, they've basically concentrated mostly on other humans, which means that the others, the half orcs, the half elves, who try to like shuffle back and forth between both worlds, the gnomes, the halflings, for the most part are forgotten. If they are powerful enough, then they get recruited.
All right.
Which of course makes them a target for another faction. Knowing that, you have very craftily avoided being recruited by anybody, because while they are there to protect you, your faction, other factions would try to eliminate you.
Okay.
So it's kind of like living on the edge of a knife. It's dangerous to not have allies, but it's also dangerous to have allies.
All right. So the factions recruiting is willful. You willingly join it.
Yes.
Okay. Just I did
no, because if they have to try and force you, that means they have to hire somebody to watch you, and then they have to hire somebody to watch them. If you're not interested,
I was just
you're not
making
interested.
sure. Make sure it wasn't like a draft thing.
No, it's like do you want our protection? And if so, you got to earn your way in.
Okay.
So, what else would you know? Oh, common knowledge. You would know all this stuff. So history. Not that you need to know this, and you can look at this at any time, because this is everything under common knowledge is stuff that you would know. This is stuff you guys are going to find out relatively soon. I didn't photocopy anything that you can't know.
Okay.
So, so here's the history. Once upon a time, the land supposedly was ruled by a mighty sorceress, which is ridiculous, of course, because magic doesn't exist.
Okay.
Magic isn't real.
All right.
Okay. In this world, generally speaking, most people do not believe in magic. They do, however, believe in the gods.
I see what you're saying.
Because the temples are very powerful and people travel around. They are forthright about, I can speak to gods. I can do this. I can do that.
Gods giving
Clerics,
power.
paladins, absolutely. You and I know outside of game that magic does exist.
Of course.
But if you can do magic, you're not necessarily open about it.
Right.
Because most people
Okay,
believe
I'll see what you're saying now.
right? So, and you try to make it look like something else.
Yeah.
All right. So knowing that, if you would like to look at the list of deities for the world and decide this is kind of the one that I would align myself with, you are welcome to do that. You would, of course, be asked for, a tithe or something like that from a local church. But of course, you could go to that temple for help when you needed it.
Okay.
I am a loyal follower of, and I'm seeking asylum, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So just like the factions,
Yeah.
they're going to ask something of you, but you get a benefit. So you can decide whether you would like to stay totally neutral on that, but there you go. The other thing that you would know is the E-1.
Okay.
And here's what you would know. Elves and half-elves have claimed sections of it without regard for the council that rules over here, because they simply don't have the force to go in and take it.
Because it looks pretty big.
It's pretty big, and it's well forested,
and you don't mess with elves in the forest.
And you don't mess with elves in the forest. So they have their own communities in there, and generally speaking, we leave them alone, they leave us alone.
Right.
However, when the elves wander into town, it's assumed that they're one of those people who are causing problems in the forest.
Okay.
So there are a lot of elves traveling around, but the humans and the elves are kind of that,
they get the stink out.
They share power, but they're not happy about it. Okay. Over here is, here we go. Because you would know this also. Everybody's worried about it. Is the land of Thay. So we are here. Here's the forest, and here is Thay. Rumor has it.
It looks like a hill.
Yeah. Rumor has it that even though you don't know anyone who's necessarily been there, Thay has been taken over by something evil.
Okay.
And all that stands between,
right
sure, Thay.
AY?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lots of people have been fleeing this area and coming west, reporting things coming in, destroying their villages, you know,
Seeing
people
walkers.
disappearing, all that kind of stuff. Exactly, that kind of okay. There are forts for defense. Okay, there's one in the south, there's one in the north.
See, it was square.
Yeah, the squares. Okay, so you've got a couple of these here and everything like that. But generally speaking, the only way to get into Aglarond is through the north.
Okay.
So
I see.
the folks from Aglarond defend this area. And if something's coming in and destroying the elves,
They are like it.
not my problem.
Yeah, I get that.
And of course, in the Yorwood, there's all kinds of strange stories coming out, things floating, mystical beings, all that kind of weird stuff that's obviously not real, but there you go. Okay, and that's what the people who are traveling in are saying. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that think people are disappearing. That we came back to the village, it was gone.
Okay.
What you mean it was destroyed? No, literally, the whole village was gone, and we have no idea. There was no sign that it was there. Ridiculous stories that obviously can't be true.
Because magic doesn't exist.
Because magic doesn't exist. All right, so we are in the capital city here, so the council has a little bit more say one way or the other.
Okay.
So I will get you caught up and everything like that. You have to decide kind of what you would be doing on a daily basis. I assume that you're living by the skin of your teeth and.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't think I give myself any gold. Yeah, I didn't do coin.
Okay. If you need to go shopping, you can go shopping.
I think I'm set.
You got all your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got basic. What I imagine I would probably have.
Well, and if somebody says you're going on a trip for 2 weeks, you would go shop for 2 weeks. So not a problem. But so one day you were sitting in a tavern and a gnome comes sidling up to the table. He's obviously a craftsman of some kind based on his outfit. And he sits down at your table without asking for your permission.
Excuse me.
The time has come where you may have to pick a side.
Okay.
There are forces out there of which you are unaware. And I feel it is my duty to tell you about the ones that no one talks about.
Well, if no one talks about it, then how can you talk about it?
That's an excellent point. So I will leave it to somebody more wise than me. If you would like to receive an offer with no obligation whatsoever, take this coin. And he slides a copper piece that you've never seen before across the table. Take this coin to Tam Square, building number 15.
I'm going to pick the coin up and just examine it.
Okay. It has obviously been stamped, minted, but it has no markings whatsoever. No face, no inscriptions, no writing.
Okay, so it's minted.
Yes.
It was,
It was obviously crafted. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, good sir, can I get your name then?
You could if I dropped it. And he stands up from the table and he says, and as he starts to turn around, he says, "This is a limited time offer. I would get there by sunset."
Understood.
And he leaves. You know Tam Square. It's a very public area. Okay? It's not some place where somebody could sneak up on you or anything like that. Yeah. Obviously, they purposely picked it so that you would feel comfortable and in your element.
Okay.
It's a really common, you don't even have to roll for that. So the question is, what would you do?
Well, first I want to look around to see if anybody is paying any attention to what's going on. If there's anybody out of the ordinary.
Sure, give me a perception roll.
17 plus perception, which is my wisdom modifier, right?
Your perception is going to be plus.
Oh, never mind. I have the skill, right? Yeah, it's a -1.
-1.
All right, so 16.
16. If anything, it looks like people are purposely ignoring
Huh.
the interaction.
That's peculiar.
And you don't know whether that's because people just naturally ignore halflings and gnomes because they're beneath their notice, or whether they know something that you don't know. And
Right.
looking is a bad idea.
Pretty peculiar. Well, I am going to go and cautiously scout out building 15 then.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
All right.
Stick to the, as normally, be as little as I can there.
I understand. You find number 12. You
Mhm.
find number 13 and 14. You find number 17.
What number 16?
There is no 15 or 16.
Huh.
What there is a little tiny alleyway in between the buildings that leads to the next street. You've been down there before.
Okay.
It just goes to the next street.
Okay.
But as far as you know, there are no other doors.
Well,
If there was going to be a 15, that's where it would be.
at this point, I want to take a big, deep breath. And we'll start whistling, walking down the alleyway, flipping the coin.
Okay. All right, this is an easy one. Okay. The alleyway opens into a little alcove, and there is a tower in the alcove. It's no further around than your kitchen.
Okay.
There are two people standing there looking at the tower, and you don't see them until you step into the alcove because they're both off to either side. One of them is a young woman with some kind of stringed instrument over her back, and she's looking up and down at the tower. The other one is a dwarf with an axe strapped to his back. He's sitting on the ground and looks frustrated.
Well, I'm going to, obviously, because I can't notice them, stop whistling. I'll lean up against the wall and, hey, you two. And we'll flip a coin. It's like, you guys got a coin? And just keep flipping it.
We have a coin, but no door, says the woman.
No door. Okay. Is there any windows or?
No, it appears to be a solid stone tower.
How high is it?
About 4 stories.
Okay.
Just high enough that if you were in the marketplace, you probably wouldn't be able to see the top of
That's
it.
what I was getting at. Okay.
Give me an insight roll.
9.
You just need a 10, so.
-1.
Oh, okay.
All right. It'll work out too good.
That's okay.
I am going to. Well, no door. Are you
On this
walked
side,
around the tower?
I'm guessing they have. Are you asking?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still speaking to you.
I've been around and around. You are welcome to check for yourself. The dwarf still hasn't spoken.
I think I will.
Okay.
I'm just going to walk up to beside the dwarf.
You walk around the stone tower.
And I'll walk up to the dwarf.
Oh, okay.
Like beside him, just kind of lean a little bit, go, you stink. And I'm gonna walk on off. And yeah, I'm going to check out the perimeter of the tower. Just walk around and see.
You walk around to the far side of the tower, and there is a stone door.
Okay. Huh. And that is the opposite side of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to walk back around to the other side of the tower and see if my compadres are still there.
She's looking up and down the tower, probably seeing if she can climb it or something. She looks relatively nimble. She doesn't look like she has anything that she could use to climb it, but she looks like she's trying to figure out if she can get to the top, kind of eyeing it up and down. The dwarf is staring intently at it. And because you know dwarfs, generally speaking, are interested in stonework.
Right. And so, and there's a door on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to look at them and be like, don't anything foolish. I'll be right back. I'm going to do another walk around.
Okay.
Is the door still there?
It is.
Aha. And I want to come back around to him. I was like, Guys, you do know there's a door on the other side.
The dwarf stands slowly up and looks at the elf. Can I break him now? Not yet. And they start to walk in two directions around the tower.
And I'm going to run to the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the three of you get to the door at the same time.
Okay.
The dwarf goes.
Told you. So, this door, is there a obvious knob
There
or
is a handle and a lock.
a handle and a lock? Well then. Well, fellas, you both have a coin. This seems to be our opportunity. What should we make of it?
The elf turns and looks at the dwarf. You were here longer than I. Would you like the honors of opening the door? And the dwarf walks out and puts two hands on the stone door. It appears to concentrate. Grabs the handle and turns.
Oh.
And then turns again. And then shakes it.
Huh.
And then bangs his shoulder against the door. It appears to be stuck.
Stuck. Not locked, but stuck, dwarf.
That's what he said.
I am going to go up and see if I feel like it's locked or stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is an easy one. You turn the handle, and the handle just turns.
Huh.
Which indicates that it's supposed to catch on something, but isn't.
That's interesting. I am going to I'm going to get into my backpack. I'm going to pull a crowbar out.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it into the jam. Look at the dwarf, say, "You look mighty strong. Why don't you open this door with this device that I gave you, smart one?"
So the dwarf takes the crowbar
Yeah.
and attempts to pry the door. I'm not going to even roll for it.
What's that?
No, I'm not going to even roll for it.
Okay. Yeah.
I will take these out, though, because we're getting in just a second. So he pushes and pulls and grunts, and you're watching the door pretty carefully. Doesn't even move.
Okay.
And he does look like a relatively strong guy.
I figured. That's like, here, you do this. I'm not a strong guy.
That's not me.
That's not me. All right. There's some trickery here. Is there a lock to the door?
Mm-hmm.
There is. I'm going to see if I can figure anything out with the lock.
Okay.
I'm going to put my crowbar back, obviously.
All right.
Should I roll for that one?
Sure.
I don't know. How do you roll for that?
If you're trying to observe something, it would be perception. If you're trying to figure out another way to get in, it would be insight.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay. As far as you can tell, it's a lock.
Okay. I'm just going to try to see if, well, I mean by that is I'm going to put my lock picking tools into it and see if I feel like it operates like a normal lock.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm
All
going
right.
to try
Give me
to
a sleight of
pick
hand
it.
roll.
Right. 10.
I didn't bring a screen.
Oh. Okay. Use this bowl if you want.
That's all right.
That helps.
That's all right. It's one of the easiest locks you've ever found.
Okay.
You feel it right away. It clicks open. The door pops a little bit as if there's nothing even holding it once the lock is open.
I'm just going to take my lock pick tools and flick it into the air. I'm like, that's why you guys got me. I'm just going to put everything back in my, pack up and be like, I'm not leading the way. Somebody else can do that.
The dwarf takes the axe off his back.
Good idea. My rapier.
And the elf pulls a dagger from her boot.
Okay.
and the elf leads and pushes the door open.
Can I see in there?
Yep,
Is it gonna bother if I be?
it's very, very dark, but you can see in there, and you can see the walls curving around in the tower,
Okay.
and the dwarf steps in and pushes his way through and begins to disappear into the gloom. The elf follows in behind him. She begins to disappear into the gloom.
All right. I am going to the best of my ability to just get to the wall and just disappear and do what I do. And
Inside the tower.
yeah, into the
Okay.
tower. Yeah, definitely into the tower. But I'm trying to just be.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
Do
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yep.
stealth.
Yep.
And that was a hard one. 14.
Okay, you beat the tower. So, all right. So you step inside, and gradually the light begins. The little bit of light that was here begins to dim.
Okay. Do I see? I can still see though.
You can.
Okay. Do I see my compadres?
No, they appear to have moved far enough into the tower that you cannot see them. Give me an insight roll.
That's a little better. It's not good. 11.
You should be able to see them.
Right. That's why I was
It's not
getting
that big a
at.
tower.
Yeah. And that's why I was starting to gather. They just kind of, it's like, all right. I going to.
And as you are peering into the darkness, you hear the door as it closes.
I knew that was going to happen.
You didn't prop it open with anything. So
Right. This is true. So the door closes.
yes,
Is there light still?
there it is extremely dim, and you should be able to see further than you can.
Okay.
You should be able to see the opposite wall.
Something feels very peculiar about this situation. I don't like this. I am going to slowly get a pack off and reach in and pull one of my 1,000 ball bearings out
Okay.
and just toss it and try to get an idea of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It soars through the air. You hear it hit the ground. Tink, 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 tink.
Good.
And the sound fades into the distance.
That's all I need to know. I'm just going to cautiously make my way forward.
Okay. As you start to make your way forward, gradually you begin to see light in the far distance, which is odd because this tower is only about 15 feet across. No, it's fine.
Hello, this is Joe.
So
What are you doing?
I'm on my way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just my way now.
Okay. Yep, we're here.
Alright. Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm getting a ride from my grandma, so it shouldn't take too long. Maybe 15. Yeah, it's 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Alright, bub.
All right. We'll see you then.
Alright, see you.
Bye. Ethan's on his way.
Okay.
About 15 minutes, he said.
Yeah. Sarah she sent a little while ago and asked if we're still meeting at 6.
All right. So you said, what about 15 feet?
The tower was only about 15 feet across.
Okay. That's what. Okay. I am going to just walk. I mean, this is quite the sight. None of this makes sense. Yeah.
Gradually, what appears to be a hallway opens up into an antechamber, as if you're in a manor house. Hey, Bryce.
Hello.
Come on in. Bryce, this is Joe and Michelle.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Rice looks like.
Oh, you're gonna be over here. Okay. Unless you don't want people sneaking up behind you. We can finish it up.
Okay.
So it appears to be almost like the entry hall to a manor house.
Okay.
There's a large door in front of you, and there appears to be writing on the door.
Can I read it?
The writing is in halfling.
Oh, imagine that.
Imagine
I
that.
can read that then.
You can.
What does it say then?
It says, "All are welcome."
All are welcome. I am going to just put my finger on the door and does it have a doorknob?
It does,
Okay.
but no lock.
I'm just going to swallow my pride because I know that this isn't a good idea usually. I'm just going to twist the door and push it and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inside appears to be a workshop of some kind.
Huh.
There are lots of figures sitting at tables working. You can hear them crafting away and everything like that. Bustling away. Nobody appears to even notice that you came in.
That's interesting. Is it like a long room then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big workshop. Dentist workshop.
That's what it sounds like. I want to walk over to the nearest one and just step up beside them.
Okay, we're gonna stop there.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll stop there.
All right,
I'll take a break.
let's get you caught up. Here we go. Oh, there we are. Oh,
Did you want to change that?
yes, we will change it.
Okay.
Yep, if you want to change it on your sheet. So we're gonna give you additional languages rather than, because you don't really get one for. We had your chosen enemy. Oh, here it is.
Yes.
So we switch that to undead instead of goblin. And instead of just goblins, that gives you an entire range of weird creatures. So this is going to be a whole lot easier because you just got here. These are the grass lines where you've grown up. Okay, you know that Aglarond is on one side of you. You know Faye is on the other side of you. You don't know a whole lot about either one until stuff starts coming out of Faye, and people start disappearing. That is what happened to your village.
Okay.
Okay, and you did exactly what you told me that you're going to do. You realize that whatever it is not something that you can tackle on your own, and so the nearest ally would be Aglarond.
Okay.
You skirt around the really creepy forest where you've heard all kinds of nasty stories. Nobody goes in, and if they do go in, they don't come back out.
Mm-hmm.
So you skirt around the coastline, and once you get to Aglarond, you realize Veltarar is the capital, and if you are going to be able to find help, that's where you're going to need to go.
Okay.
All right. So you have entered the city, and you are an elf. Is that correct?
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And your first stop for some rest and relaxation is a tavern. You go because it's been a long journey, and you want to hear a little bit about what's going around the town.
Okay.
People seem to tense when you walk into the room. They look, and then they shift in their seats so that they can watch you while they're sitting. What would you like to do now that you're in the tavern?
We go to the bar
Mm-hmm.
and ask why everyone said it.
You're not one of those elves from the Ewer Wood, are you?
No.
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 Are you from beyond the grasslands?
Maybe yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're from there?
Yeah.
Ah, then your first drink is on me. Welcome. You've had a long journey. Puts a drink down in front of you.
Okay.
Before you realize it, a small figure, a gnome, who you thought was a myth up until now, but there he is, slides up next to you. And he looks at the bartender and he says, actually, this one is on me. And he slides some coins across the counter to pay for your drink. And the bartender shrugs his shoulders and sweeps the coins off before he can change his mind.
Off of my shoulders?
No,
Sorry.
sorry, sweeps the coins off the counter.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, before the gnome can change his mind and take his coins back.
Mm.
And he was going to offer you to drink for free, but since somebody's paying for it, there you go.
Well, I'd probably call him out on
So the gnome looks at you and says, "You are new in town. I understand. Factions are forming. You'll be asked to pick a side. I'm here to make sure you're on the right one." Several groups of humans, and you can hear the disgust in his voice, will approach you in attempts to get you to join. I would like you to hear the other side of the story before they can get to you.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Take this. And he slides a little copper penny across the counter to you. The first thing you notice about it is that it's obviously a regular copper coin, except that there's nothing written on it. There's no symbols, there's no figure, there's no writing of any kind. Take this to number 15 Fay Court. It's the largest square just north of here. And someone will make you an offer. If you choose to stay, you may stay, and if not, you may walk away.
Okay.
But you should hear all sides before it's too late.
Okay.
And he leaves the coin on the counter. He slides more money across and he says, "If the elf is still thirsty." And the bartender, who has stayed to listen, sweeps them off the counter as well.
Okay.
And the gnome turns and makes his way between people before you can even ask another question and disappears into the crowd.
Okay. This is where I go.
It's up to you.
Oh.
He seemed to imply that you would need some kind of need to pick a side relatively soon, and that somebody would be coming to find you quickly. So it's up to you whether you want to go listen to what he has to say or not.
Well, let's go listen.
Okay. So the square that he was talking about was over there. Hey, Sarah.
Do you have?
Yeah, you're over here. Bryce, Sarah, Bryce.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
All right, so I'll run you through this really quickly and everything. The square is easy to find. And you're looking for number 15, you find number 14, you find number 16. And all that's between there is a little tiny alley.
Let's go now.
Okay. You walk a couple feet down the alley and there is a tower. Squat little tower, which appears to have no doors and no windows. There are two people sitting next to the tower, studying it intently. Neither of them is a human. One of them is a half-orc, who, even when he sits, is almost as tall as you are. And the other one is a dwarf. The dwarf is studying the stone. The half-orc looks like he's trying to figure out if he can put his fist through it.
Show the dwarf the coin? Maybe?
Okay, you can talk to him or just
talk
pull it
to
out. Okay, what would you like to say? You gonna hold up?
Yeah.
All right, you think? Hi, welcome. All right. So which character did you decide to go with? The original one?
Well, yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Just because that was like my gut one that I was able to.
Okay. All right. Your character is from down in this area, but I don't know. Did you?
I thought of like a little bit of a backstory,
Yeah.
and I do have a question. Is my area like? Is there commonwealth or like? Is there like a noble?
It's up to you.
Okay.
That was what I got used everybody's like character history to figure out beforehand that I didn't have.
I know because I'm horrible.
It's okay.
I'm still gonna try and figure it out.
It's okay.
I'm gonna be actually just me. Hi.
So it's okay. You're from this coastline right here. You know more than enough about this forest to never go in there. But the coastline is your area and you're comfortable there until you start finding the carcasses of animals. And whatever it is appears to be spreading eastward. You know that this area is generally patrolled by forces from Agarond, and the capital is here. So if you decide to go for help, that's where you would go.
Okay. Are you asking me like what I?
I'm asking you what you would do.
Okay. Hmm. So I've never traveled through the forest.
Yep, don't go through the forest. You can go around. You could theoretically travel this way and around.
Okay.
And once you get here, you're fine. It's this area in here that's
I was
dangerous.
wondering if I would need the boat or not.
You could do that too. In fact, you could easily find passage from anywhere along the shoreline here around to the capital, if that's what you choose to do.
I guess I could. Do I have access to a boat? I mean, I get this is like my town. I guess I would.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I would have access to a boat.
And generally speaking, your area of expertise is marine wildlife. So most people would probably give you passage for free if you wanted to offer your expertise in exchange.
Okay.
Does that sound like a fair deal?
Okay.
Okay. Unless you want to do something special along the way, the trip only takes 2 or 3 days. It's a relatively fast ship, and you sail into the harbor of the capital.
And just to like, because like my brain's been like shut
It's
off all
fine.
day, and I'm just kind of like,
It's okay.
Getting
That's
there?
that's why I'm starting slow.
okay.
You're good.
I'm investigating dead
Yes.
animal carcasses.
Yeah. Generally
Okay,
speaking, your
gotcha.
job is to take care of it and defend it, and
Mhm.
whatever it is way beyond your abilities.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm approaching Beltalar
Mhm.
in search of someone in the same expertise as me, but maybe in a more of a broad.
Or
Or-
a buttload of soldiers would be really, really helpful.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Do you have a battalion you can send with me so we can figure out what this is? Sure, here you go. Cool. That would be really nice.
Okay. So yeah, cool.
So once you get to the docks, generally speaking,
Mhm.
it's been a very long journey.
Journey,
Where would
mhm.
do your first stop?
I'd like to go to the inn.
Excellent. Good choice. All right.
We're getting
See, everybody
somewhere.
goes there. That's where I started there. All right. So we're gonna kind of speed you up just a little bit and everything like that. So you're in the inn, and when you walk in, you realize that the vast majority of people in the inn are either humans or elves.
Mhm.
There's almost nobody of any other race here, and the conversation stops.
um,
And then gradually it picks back up. But
Okay.
Apparently they've met halflings before, so they all kind of turn their coin purses a little bit and, sort of edge back to back with one another and continue their conversations.
so I guess I approach the innkeep or
Nice approach.
bartender.
I like it.
Go chop.
And hey, do you know anybody who has expertise in marine life around
And
here?
the barkeep turns around and says, "I'll see if oh dear. Oh. Well, you must have had a long journey.
Mhm.
Marine wildlife. I'll tell you what, why don't I buy you a drink while I'm thinking about it? First one's on the house to new folks." And he slides the drink across the counter, and
Your roofie check.
when you
Oh yeah.
when you begin to reach for it out of the corner of your eye, you see that another little person has sidled up next to you. He's a gnome, which you know by legend, but you've never actually seen one before.
Mhm.
He's dressed as a craftsman. And he says, "Actually, this one is on me." And he slides a whole bunch of coins across the counter.
Okay.
And the barkeep quickly swipes them off the counter before he can change his mind.
Thanks, dude.
It is my pleasure.
So, do you know anything about marine wildlife?
I personally do not, but I know exactly the person that you need to speak to.
Perhaps they can help me, and maybe Do you have any access to some kind of army to take that to the
Army. I don't have one on me, but again, I think I know the person that you need to speak to. Take this. He slides a small copper coin across the counter to you, which is really odd because even though it looks like a small copper coin, there's nothing printed on it. There's no face, there's no words, there's nothing. Just a little tiny copper coin.
Okay.
And go to number 15, Bay Square, which is the largest square just north of here. Easy to find, you don't need to write down.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 15, Bay Square.
Okay,
You can
thank
negotiate with him there, and of course, if he doesn't have what you're interested in, of course, you're free to walk away. Best of luck to you.
Thank you for the drink and the information. May I have your name, sir?
Absolutely. And he turns and kind of disappears into the crowd.
Oh. Oh.
And so I guess, I mean, I don't want to go do I like stay and rest or like?
You can do whatever you want. You've been resting on the ship for all this time. You haven't done anything. You probably want to stretch your legs, in fact. Hey, Ethan.
What's up?
So, yeah, let's go to the 15 place, I guess.
Okay.
Is that?
So,
then-
so the square is easy to find. You don't even need to ask for directions. You just walk north and poof, there's a square, exactly where he said it was going to be.
Oh, what?
And you're looking for number 15. There's number 14. There's number 16. But there is no door in between. What there is a little tiny alley between the buildings where number 15 would be.
Should I? Like, what kind of alleyway is this? Is it like steamy and dark? Like, should I roll for perception to make
Go right
sure there's no like die?
What's up?
What's up? What are you doing here?
Playing D&D.
Yeah, I know, but like,
I'm getting everybody into the city so that everybody can meet at the same time.
so
Should we go in and order pizza?
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, I can handle that since
Okay.
And
catch everybody up.
is that
Do you usually?
no?
Do you know a place you'd like to order from?
I usually order from your preference.
Any preference on pizzas?
As long as there's no sausage on it.
There you go.
As long as what?
There's no sausage, I'm good.
Double sausage?
Mhm.
Okay.
And anchovies.
That's how I like it.
Anchovies.
All right, they're gonna ask you for one of those on the phone.
That's pretty.
Oh,
Just
they'll ask for a Chevy?
no, just tell them that you're gonna pay by credit card on the phone and put it on there.
Why would I
Alright.
say cash?
No, it's okay. I'm buying everybody done.
Are you sure?
No, it's fine.
Doing Venmo?
Nope, it's fine.
So, no.
If you want to, you can do just like you did in the bar, where somebody's paying for your drink and and somebody else pays for it anyway.
Okay.
So you do a perception roll. It appears to be a relatively well-kept alley. You can see the street at the other end. There don't appear to be any doorways or windows anywhere down the alley. So it looks like it just leads to the next street.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'll enter the alley.
Okay.
But like, can I take like a
Give me a stealth roll.
defensive? Yeah, like defensively or stealthily.
So
I guess.
you're basically guarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. So you take a couple. Do you have weapons out?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna draw a weapon.
That's fine. So you take a couple of steps and everything, and you realize that the alley is a lot longer than you thought it was. And what appeared to be a doorway, a building at the end, now appears to be a tower. You can see one or two figures standing at the base of the tower.
Mhm. Okay. Can I like tell what kind of figures they are? Like, are they humans? Or...
Yeah, well, it looks like there's a tall figure, either a human or an elf, with a bow. It looks like there's a half-orc seated at the base of the tower.
Do they see me?
No, they are facing away from you.
Okay. So I'll approach them.
Okay,
I'll approach, but I won't try and make myself apparent, I guess. I don't know.
I got it. The other character that was there was, did I give you the dwarf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you get closer, you see that there's walking around from the other side of the tower is a dwarf who appears to be examining the stonework.
Okay.
And as you are standing there, you don't even need to make the roll and everything like that. You realize that there's somebody approaching from behind you. And you turn around and immediately your eyes drop because this is a halfling, which you're familiar with. And she's dressed a whole lot like, actually, hold up your picture. She looks like that.
Oh,
There you go.
small.
That was easy. That's how we do pictures. All right.
Cool.
So give me a second to get Ethan caught up,
Okay.
and then we're all good.
Did I ever show you my picture of Estrella?
No, I don't think so.
I had one of my friends draw her.
Estrella's the character she was playing in the last campaign.
Australia, Stella, just everything like that. It's awesome. Where is it? Can you search chats on? Yeah.
Oh, that's what I need to check. Okay.
Oh my god. You're horrible.
No, that's pretty much the way I picture it, except for the thing over her eye. I didn't
Yeah,
realize-
she only has one eye. Yeah.
Okay. You can tell
It
me
was a
that.
little character development, like.
Got it. How did she lose it?
I can't
You
remember.
don't remember. You just know it was cool.
Yeah,
Which
it was
is
definitely
kind of
the-
odd because you have really good depth perception.
It was the.
Actually, now that I think about it, you missed a
artist
whole lot,
choice?
didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I missed all the time. And when I did hit, it was nice.
Zip code 10?
What's up?
Zip code?
3296 out.
Okay. 329.
Sounds like he
I'm
had
like, why
this-
do you need to know your own zip code? You need to know for the card. I got it.
I don't think they're using a stolen card.
Did that once when I was younger. I had my friend's card. And he was not,
Ethan, you ready?
not in a state to leave it all the time. And I was like, here's his card. This isn't my card. I don't know anything about it.
Here you go, sir.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm now the new proud owner of a 2019.
Well, I'll tell you what, I pay for the pizza, somebody else can do the tip, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys
Yeah.
want to pull together with cash or something like that.
Okay.
All right, grab your character and a D20 and come step outside with me for just a second.
Huh?
Step outside with me.
Oh,
Because you
wait,
know,
no,
grab
no,
your
no.
character and a 20-sided die. Because you know stuff that they don't know. Really? How you doing?
Good.
My brain.
Why's your brain?
Oh, it's my day off.
Need some brain juice.
Should have done things today.
What is it?
I should have done. I'm just being stupid. I should have done things today.
No, let's see, you get sparkles.
How do you know Tim?
He is married to my stepdad's sister. So
Okay.
just through like family
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
gatherings and stuff.
Have you played before?
No.
This is your first time?
First time.
Okay, cool. Congratulations.
Welcome to D&D.
Yeah, welcome to D&D. That's pretty, I don't know, it's fun, especially like once we get this part going, the meetup is the big deal. That's usually like the slower part of everything.
Yeah.
Everybody getting used to each other.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
like, I really don't have that much experience. This is probably only like my 4th campaign, so I'm
Okay.
still like, I still am so bad at getting into character and stuff. So like,
I saw it come with his voice. Like
Mhm.
I want to act him more than anything. I got to get his voice down. He's a little dude. He's like this tall. So.
plus, yeah.
Right.
Are you also your halfling still?
Yep. Still halfway.
There was. But you see my name.
Yoni. I like that. Tall
Tall fellow.
fellow. Ha.
It was like the
Ha.
second thing that came up on the generator. And I didn't even like
That's
put in.
perfect,
It was
yeah.
perfect. I was
That's
like,
perfect. Tall fella. And you're playing.
What else?
Cool. Okay. That's gonna be pretty good. Got a bunch of ranged characters.
mhm.
Out of game knowledge. I'm glad we have Ethan's character too. Then
What is he?
he's out of knowledge. He's a half orc paladin.
Cool.
Good.
Ooh.
You
Paladin.
go distract him. We're gonna shoot him from a distance. I'm gonna stab you from over here.
These are like
Gosh,
old.
you gotta take-
I don't know if he said that he like made me up one of these or not. If not, I have mine on my phone. I hope my friend didn't change it. I let my friend like change my things. Not change, or like just, I don't know. My character became like not my character really. Just like burn.
Having ones.
Yes.
Five ones.
Oh, God. I have like money everywhere on me. Like
Early.
I just throw it around in my purse and pockets.
There's three. Well, it's up to you. That should make my 5 ones. There's my 5 ones. So here's that.
Okay.
See what I did there? It's 5.
Okay.
So you see it.
I don't
So
know
I'm
why
gonna throw
you
in a
just.
couple bucks for step, but I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, and then. I mean, how much was it?
It was like 20 bucks.
Okay. Give me a couple extra.
There you go. Perfect. That's gonna be perfect. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Got it.
So what do you do?
Like for work?
Mm,
I'm an AutoCAD draftsman.
you said craftsman?
Draftsman.
Draftsman.
So I draw houses and things
Yeah.
for people.
Oh, I thought you said auto something. Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
it's AutoCAD.
AutoCAD.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I
Imagine that.
do not know. So
Yeah.
I guess so. It's just like some sort of
Yeah, it just makes me
specialized, I guess.
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah, special program.
Cool.
What do you do?
I'm just a receptionist at Massage Envy, customer
Okay.
service life. But
Which one?
the one over in Bureau,
Like
That's by Target.
out west?
Mhm.
Okay.
only one here. Yeah, so that's how I met Joe through there, and then he said he was doing the campaign, and then that's how he knows Tim. D&D.
D&D brings all kinds of people together.
Yeah,
But I do like to do a lot of like
I have it. Yeah.
All right, we should add each
Oh,
other.
I would say I do like to do a lot of the nerd things. Joe and I was gonna say we do the Pokemon Go and the Wizards Unite.
I haven't played that in a long time.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
We were
I played it like when it first came out.
I was super hardcore up to about 4 months ago,
Okay.
and I was like, I've spent so many hours playing this stupid game.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
money. I spent so much money on it.
Machine. Ooh,
So like I
got a
said,
couple
you
nice
should
little
totally
spawns.
add in.
I already put this in.
It's a pretty good spot right here. There's good confounds that spawn.
So you know what? I was like looking into it today, and the gardens, or the greenhouses, when you plant something, when it's harvestable, you only have 30 minutes
Oh.
to retrieve it.
So you can't go in the morning
Right.
before
Yeah, you have
and
to
then
plan
go back
it.
after.
You have to plan it out. That's why I'm not growing any, honestly.
I did it once just because I wanted to see what it was, and my inventory was full, so I was like, let's do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You have about 30 minutes.
I didn't know that until just today. I'm also trying to know the difference between things that I haven't seen before and things that I don't know.
Have you filled anything out completely yet? Because once you do, you can prestige that.
What do you mean? I don't know. what that
Once you
means.
fill out, I don't even know what the term is.
Oh, the full
Yeah,
I
thing.
haven't.
Once
I
you
don't
do
think
that,
so.
there's a button to click at prestiges, which lets you collect more of the items and give you more points into it. That way,
Cool.
that you don't, because usually you only get 1 point per something you've already collected,
Mhm.
and this lets you keep going with that. And
Jenny
you get
looks
better
so
bonuses.
Sad.
Not loading.
You want Wi-Fi?
Mm.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's
Okay.
easy, right?
Yeah.
No spaces, no caps. Aha!
Aha!
They survived.
Yes.
Well, at least Tim did. I don't know if you're dead or not.
No, I died.
No, he's fine. He's
Okay.
sitting next to the tower.
Just sitting there, man.
Okay, so we have a dwarf investigating the stonework on the tower. There's an orc that seems to be sitting next to the tower, staring at it. As you come out of the alleyway, and you come out right behind him. There we go. And if you need pictures, you know what everybody looks like.
Oh, I have a question. Did you say that you have a character sheet for me, or should I use the one on my phone?
I printed one for me. I didn't know if you were going to print one, but I can print a second one at home if you need it.
Oh,
For now,
okay.
for tonight, we'll probably have to use the one online, but
Gotcha.
unless you want to just put this in between us, because it's the only copy I have.
This was the first one
That's
that I
the
sent?
first one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I think I just have to update, because I think he changed the one that I
Well, then
made.
we'll use this one, and then I can send it back to you and everything. Or actually, it's posted because you sent it to me on Messenger, right?
Yeah, but I sent that to him, and I think he edited it.
No, I'm saying that if you go into the Messenger chat between the two of us, you can see the file that you sent to me. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes, I hope.
Okay, I put just so you know all ahead of time and everything. You can put the pictures kind of in the middle, so everybody knows what everybody looks like. Everybody's name is on them. The character's name, which somebody will eventually say to you, so you don't need to write it down. You just look at their sheet. It's at the top, and then the players' names are all at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Let's clear some of this. That's pizza tip pot.
Oh, okay. What did we order?
They had I did Pizza Hut,
Okay.
and they had medium pizzas for $5 a piece as long as you do more than two. So I
Okay.
got 3 of them.
Sounds good.
1 pepperoni, 1 bacon, and 1 chicken.
Everyone good with that? All right.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
I think he failed the deck.
Oh yeah, you have that.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. So I will say that. Sorry, I'm trying to tell you out or whatever. Bryce is new to the whole role playing thing and everything. So as we go through
We just
checks and
got
all that kind of.
this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As we go through that stuff, if we could just help each other out and stuff like that. If there's something you don't know, if there's something you need to check on, all that kind of stuff. The only things that you need to know that are a little bit different than Joe's campaign, and obviously the character creation is a little bit different, but that's that's straight out of the book. The only thing that you need to know that's a little bit different is you are way more likely to die.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
Be
the goal.
cautious.
The goal is to not get hurt, just like in real life. All right. There's no automatic healing of hit points and everything like that. It's straight out of the player's handbook where you have to roll to see if you get hit points back.
Which I like.
Okay. So the deal is going to be, and I know this is what we talked about actually when we talked about it, but this is going to be new for you guys. In between short rests, once you can take a second wind kind of thing. Take a step back, sort of, plug up whatever wounds you have or whatever it is, and you can roll one of your hit dice. Whatever you get, that's how many points you get back. It's like a quickie. I need to step out for a second, 10 seconds. Oh my gosh, I need to wrap something around or whatever. And
Barbarian gets second wind, right? That's okay.
He does.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. Short rest is going to be anytime that you take a breather for 10 minutes or so. And at that point, you can roll up to the number of hit dice that you have left. If you've already used one, then you've used everything.
Yeah.
All right. Long rest is exactly the same as what you're used to, but you do not get all your hit points back at the end of it.
It's rolled, right?
You roll again.
Okay.
Okay. It's like real life, where you don't wake up in the morning and strangely you have no scars. Okay. It's a cool way to run a campaign and everything, but it's not very realistic. So if you take damage, it's entirely possible that you will sit down and rest and you will still have damage, and then you will sleep on it and you will still have damage. So the goal is to, not get hurt. If at this point, before you guys go adventuring, you want to invest in healing stuff or anything like that, since everyone knows at least a little something about first aid, everyone at least has a role for medicine. You can help yourself or other people with it. But of course, obviously, the best thing that you can do is find somebody who has an in with one of the gods and can do that stuff without having to use healing kits. Right? Joe and I already talked about it, but here we go. In this world, generally speaking, humans and elves have pretty much taken over. The other races are sort of considered secondary. They lost the war, which is why you don't see a whole lot of people around here like you. Right? And this city has some additional problems, which Joe's character knows about because he's been here longer. If he decides to share that with you, that's fine. But otherwise, hang out in any tavern for more than about 15 minutes, and you will hear what all the problems are, because everybody wants to talk about it.
okay.
Right? For the most part, magic is considered a legend. You guys know that magic isn't real. I mean, it's stories that you tell to little kids and stuff like that. However, the gods and goddesses are real. So after that, I know we have one exception, everything like that. If at some point you would like to add something to your character about whether you follow one of the deities of the world and how seriously you take it, that's fine. For every plus you get some kind of, if you belong to one of the churches and everything like that, they would be happy to shelter you as one of the faithful. You follow our God? Absolutely. Come on in and get some rest. However, most people who belong to a church have to eventually pay some kind of tithe. You pay a portion of your salary or whatever it is to become a member of the church and to remain a faithful member. If you decide that's your thing, if you want to find a nature god, or I know you already got yours all set, everything like that, but there you go. And there are little chapels and cathedrals and all that kind of stuff all over the city, so it wouldn't be too hard to find for at least the major gods and goddesses. All right. The list is in the player's handbook. You're welcome to take a look at it with me or on your own or whatever. I don't know does everyone have a PDF of the player's handbook?
Yeah.
To look at? I don't know.
No.
Okay. You guys.
Yeah, I usually pull it up on my phone.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it's at the end. It's the list. It's the list for Forgotten Realms.
I was looking
So
at it.
it's a
and-
long list.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different options on there, depending on your background, depending on your alignment.
Mhm.
So there you go. Right.
Awesome.
Okay. So there are 4 of you standing around the tower. There's a dwarf. The half orc is sitting at the base of the tower and begins to stand as 2 other people walk out of the alleyway toward the tower. and I will sit back and let you guys talk to one another. And you guys are going to have to help Bryce out a little bit because he doesn't know what in-game conversation really sounds like. So it's Sarah's area of expertise because usually she sits there and goes, But of the four of you, you're actually the most likely to start a conversation. So.
So we have the half orc, the dwarf, and the halfling in front of the tower.
Elf.
Elf, sorry, just kidding.
Okay, so
And there's a dwarf there that was there when you guys got there who appears to be examining the stonework.
I'm sorry, is this?
And he has no visible
Yeah.
weapons, just because that's something that you would look for.
So I'm trying to like think of like, is that an extra person than
Yep.
what's here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, do me a favor, just slide your
I can do that.
character out. So those three and a dwarf that has no weapons.
Just let you know, it's probably gonna be pretty hard for me to do a half orc's voice.
Whatever you want.
You
I
do
mean,
whatever
like I
voice
don't
you
do
want.
Yeah.
voices. So bad at that.
I say, jolly good, Shadow. Well, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you do whatever voice you want.
Whatever you feel like your character will be. I'm guessing so. So-
Whatever you think a half orc sounds like, you don't necessarily sound like that,
Yeah.
considering your background.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I sound more.
You sound however you want to sound, but if you want to talk in a regular voice, you have a reason for it. And since most of the people in this city have never met a half orc, they don't know what one is supposed to sound like anyway.
Okay. Makes sense.
Does that make that? I mean,
Makes a lot of sense actually. Okay.
So what brings you guys here? To this road in the door? Or
Was given a copper coin.
as well.
Same here.
I guess, and that's okay. It's the three of us, and then there was a fourth that was a.
Yep, the dwarf has his
dwarf.
hands on the tower and he's kind of going around where you can't see him, feeling the stonework.
I'd like to. I'd like to ask the dwarf. Do you know what this tower is, or if there's like a slot to put these coins?
And he sticks his head back around and he goes, "It's a tower, though I don't know what good it is to build a tower without a door. I've been here for an hour trying to figure out how to get into this thing."
So you've inspected it pretty well. You would know if there's any cracks or slots.
I can't find anything.
Have you also got a copper coin?
Yes.
I guess.
Now, you
like-
guys have
Well-
not necessarily been around the tower.
Yeah, we just.
You just got there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have noticed at the base of the tower that there's writing. And it says, "Those who wait." I don't remember specifically what it says.
Okay, you look at the tower again and there's no writing.
Well, it's not there now.
Well, I guess. Should
The writing, by the way, you would actually remember it. It's rewards come to those who wait.
Mhm.
And that's what you did.
So, should like we roll for perception or something? Like if we want to check out the tower more.
Sure.
Okay. So.
Go ahead.
do that.
You can take the 20-sided die
Mhm.
and roll it and add whatever your bonus is for perception.
I've already rolled for this.
I made some minor changes on your
Uh-huh.
sheet before you got here because you shortchanged yourself in a whole bunch of different places, especially on damage for the weapon.
Okay.
So if you notice, all that stuff is now in my handwriting
Yeah, I
because
do.
you didn't put your strength bonus in, and that's where you get all your pluses from.
Ah. See.
You shortchanged yourself on your armor class.
Okay.
So I bumped that based on the armor that you're wearing.
Okay.
And I think there's one more thing that you shortchanged yourself on, but I can't remember what it is right now. That was mostly what it was. In case you look at it and you go, that's not my writing.
Yeah.
And you didn't put down ranges because you can throw the daggers if you choose to. So I put them down. I can't see why you would want to, but
No.
they're there. But they're there
I'm
anyway.
not gonna throw anything.
Because, and the only reason I put it is because the only reason I put it is because you don't have a ranged weapon listed.
Yeah.
So if you decide that you absolutely need something, you do have one that you can throw, and you're actually pretty good at it. So it's there. Sorry. Okay. So you're going to roll a 20-sided die, and you're going to add whatever your bonus is for perception, which is there.
So I have 5
Yep.
plus 3? Or no, just
Nope.
5.
We already did. It's the
Okay.
+3 and then +2 more for proficiency. Okay, comes out with the +5.
Do you always, or is that just one of his skills? You
He-
always have proficiency?
No,
Okay.
it's if you have this little bubble filled in, then you get your proficiency bonus, and if you don't, then you don't.
Oh,
Proficiency means that you have studied it specifically.
You're better at it.
You're better at it.
Okay.
You've actually actively studied it. Whatever your
So then
wisdom
make
is,
like a gem.
that's your natural ability. But he's actually trained himself to notice things that other people don't.
Gotcha.
So that's
Since I have got the little jitter, yeah. It's actually a little P.
Oh, I should have thought about that.
so it should be
No,
+3.
fighting.
Is it?
So if that's a 3 there.
So
about that.
so your
Then-
everything's different on this sheet. Your proficiency bonus is +2.
Normally-
There it is.
there it is.
I'll take it.
trying
So your
to find it
proficiency
as well.
bonus
Game
is
of
+2, and your wisdom bonus is +1. So every time you make a perception roll, you're going to add 3 because you've specifically trained yourself to do it. As you go up in levels, it's one of the things that you're going to get better at. This number is going to change, so that number is going to
Oh.
change.
No,
Gotcha.
I messed up.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So 20 plus 3,
Yeah. 6.
not so much. Okay, good. All right. So so you start to walk around the building, and you realize that the building is probably the oddest thing that you've ever seen in your life, and it doesn't look like it should really stand. It looks like, in fact, it was built out of the ground, as if it came up by itself, because it doesn't have a foundation.
Okay.
But it's not really so tough, because as you walk around the building, there's a door.
Do we all see this?
Yep,
About what time is it getting?
big stone door.
Sun
it
is
is
setting.
It is sundown.
Okay, I see it.
Check
I say that well, the gnome told me that the office ends at sundown. So
Would any of you like to enter the building?
Yeah.
Cool.
You were the only one that made the perception check. So, in little tiny writing above the door, there is something written.
Oh,
oh, I didn't.
Super small.
am I making this up? No.
It's there. If you'd like to do something about it, you can squint. You can jump up and try and read it. You can sit on somebody's shoulders. You can ask the really tall guy to read it for you. You can whatever you want to do.
I'll ask the really tall guy to read it.
He's a really tall guy. I thought he was a really tall guy.
Everybody's really tall to you.
No, the half orc is considerably bigger.
Oh, okay.
Elves are a little bit shorter than humans
I'm
Oh,
6'5".
okay.
on average.
So
The really tall
No,
guy.
that's
So
certain
yeah.
mythologies they are, but D&D they're
Gotcha.
5 foot or so,
5.5.
Okay.
5.5 maybe.
That's a tall elf.
That's it.
No.
I guess I try to read it.
Okay. It is written in Orcish again,
Ah. So I read it.
and it says knock and enter.
Perhaps we shall knock, guys. It says to knock.
I'm not knocking.
knock, knock, knock.
Maybe we shouldn't knock twice if anybody got that reference, but we'll knock twice the movie. Okay. Anyways.
Now we have a project. We all have to go watch the movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like the logical thing, if it's given us orcish language, you're half orc, you should touch the building.
And it is also sort of your nature to stand out in front, just in
Okay,
case there's
yeah.
anything on the other side of this door.
Mm-hmm.
That's the character you're playing.
Kind of thing.
Well, I knock on the door, and it says
So
after I knock to enter.
Your fist, you bang one, you hear it echo inside, you bang a second time, you bang a third time, and the door clicks open.
Okay, so I enter, with assuming the others follow.
And he starts into the tower. And everyone watches you go.
Hi, tall guy.
Bye.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Now I say, y'all coming?
So
Yeah, like
Yeah.
can we follow him through, or
Sure.
is the door going to shut
No.
in front of us? Okay, I'm gonna follow through behind.
good.
If you want to follow through behind me, since you're taller.
Yeah, I'll follow behind.
I need the two of you to make an insight roll. For me.
So is it 20?
So that would be
20-sided die and add your insight bonus.
What is insight?
Insight is problem solving and noticing things that don't make sense or things that do make sense, puzzles.
Ah. See,
22.
The tower is only maybe 20 feet
they
across.
separate.
He steps in there and you should be able to see him.
Oh, they are cats.
And he sort of disappears into the gloom. And you step in and you go inside and cannot see the far side of the tower and you step in as well.
Well, I have dark vision,
I know.
so I can see.
Nope.
Pitch black.
Dun, dun, dun.
It is dim,
Very
Oh, okay.
but you cannot see nearly as far as you think you should. And you take a couple of steps in and you hear the door close behind you.
Do we see if the dwarf followed in behind us?
The dwarf is not there.
So we can't see any of each other who walked in front of us and behind us.
Right.
So
Okay.
I say, are you guys there? See if they're there.
You can hear him.
Okay. Yeah, we're.
I say,
we're
come to
here.
my voice, and I hand you guys a binding of rope so we can stay together and know if something happens.
Smart.
Good idea.
Okay. So we
All right,
all-
and after a little bit of fumbling, you each grab hold of. Yes, you grab hold of a rope in the darkness.
Do we? You dwarf? Are you in
Well,
here?
There's no answer.
No. Okay.
Thank
So
goodness what that was.
us three. We're holding a rope. So let's
I
go
start
find
to
a
walk
wall.
forward.
Gradually, you start to see a light in the distance, which is the most bizarre thing because you should be back in the square by now.
Okay.
So you see a light in the distance, which might be the square, except you're technically inside of a tower, so it makes
Mhm.
absolutely no sense whatsoever.
So we've walked more than 15 feet.
You have.
Okay.
And you eventually come out in what looks like the lobby, the front room of the manor house, the foyer. There is a great door in front of you.
Roll for perception, I guess.
If you'd like.
See what's
Depends
in
on
the
what you're
room.
looking for.
Yeah, like I guess I'd like to see like if there's any, I guess, inscriptions, any more inscriptions,
Yeah,
or
it's a big, beautiful room. There's carpeting. There's a suit of armor off to one side. It
Mhm.
looks like a wealthy person lives here. Very nice, except if there only appears to be one door out of the room. The big, giant one.
is there a doorknob?
There is.
I want to look for, see if there's anything,
Yeah.
like,
See if there's anything orcish
Yeah.
about it.
no, not orcish, but I want to see if, if there's anything abnormal about it, like
Okay.
something that shouldn't be there.
Absolutely.
Insight or perception?
Insight or
If you're trying to solve a problem, it would be insight. If you're trying to notice something odd, that would be perception. If you're trying to do both, you can make both rolls. And then if there's something to notice that is a little bit odd, I can
Still
say
minus
both.
1, so
Right.
14.
Okay.
I
All right.
Which is not bad.
It appeared
guess so.
Oh.
Matt
23.
23. Natural 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can actually hear voices from the other side of the door.
Ooh.
You can hear sounds, you can hear noises.
Have you got any like words or pick up any part of the
You
conversation?
can, but it's not a language that you recognize.
No, it's not. What do I know?
Is she showing any signs of like confusion?
What do you mean?
Any signs of like, what is that? Like,
Are you going to, when you hear the voices, you're going to go, oh, what is that? Or you're
No.
just going to stand there,
No, I'm just gonna be like. I guess I'm just gonna
freeze for a second?
free. I guess.
Okay, there you
I guess
go.
I'll probably like noticeably
like,
like
focusing.
focus on it.
I say, what's wrong?
Shh. Is what I say.
Good answer.
I did not send you that page. Well, if I chose the first character, I know. It starts with an S. I don't remember what it is. So, okay. Oh, there it is. Found it. So it's not any of those languages.
Right.
Okay. Any like, can I pick up how many different voices there are?
Several.
Several. So that's
Too many to
about
count.
four to five. Okay, too many to count. Yo guys, so I can hear what's over on the other side of the door, and it might be a large group of people.
I see if I can listen in. Like, I go up to the door and I just.
Okay. You hear something moving around inside, and it might be voices, but
Okay.
Can I understand what they're saying? Mine's changed. So.
you cannot.
Okay.
Wait, am I able to?
Who's this pizza?
Am I able to?
Hey,
Not more.
Joe.
Bill.
Joe.
Joe. So forgetful.
Joe.
Yo,
Forgetful until the guy slashes
you
your
know,
wires.
as dumb as a half word should be, I know 4 languages. It's pretty cool, guys.
You got a really cool background, so
Yeah, I
you
do.
would have learned all that stuff. So what are you gonna do?
Reach to the sky.
Yep.
Toy Story.
Reach for the sky. There's a snake in my boot.
Mm-hmm. Do any of you guys want to enter the door? Should we also knock?
I knock.
Should we? Oh, you knock?
Yes.
Okay.
Knock.
Okay, those are the instructions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knock once, and the door opens,
Do we see who's on the other side?
and you hear the sound of activity on the other side. People talking.
Just hear it.
Sounds like work being done. There's like hammering and things being dropped and all kinds of stuff.
I say hello.
We're gonna open the door the rest of the way because
Yeah.
all it did was pop
Yeah.
open. Okay. So you see him standing just on the other side of the door.
Hey.
And you appear to be in a workshop of some kind. There are tables all over the place in a large room about the size of a warehouse in our world. Almost everyone in the room appears to be a gnome. There are a couple of halflings here and there. There's 1 or 2 elves walking from table to table. But it appears that all the people working at tables are gnomes. Now, if gnomes, obviously gnomes really exist. I mean, the legend
Yeah.
is that they're incredible craftsmen, and that's exactly what it looks like they are doing.
It makes sense because, a gnome gave me this copper piece. So
Yeah, we're all given copper pieces
from a gnome?
from a gnome.
All right, so I take a break and grab dinner, and we'll
Sure.
come back and we'll start in the workshop.
Ah, my foot sleep. Ah, foot.
Thank you, Jojo.
It's asleep.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
if you want any, I made blackberry sangria. So
Yeah.
you're welcome to have some. The
Now
fruit,
you're fucking
the fruit should have actually soaked up a whole bunch of the liquid. So if you want to scoop some of that out into your glass, there you go. Bathroom break.
Okay.
Feel free. Dance. You dance if you want to.
You can leave your friends behind.
You could.
Excuse me, sir.
Put this off to 10. Got a small oil.
Do we happen to have a ranch?
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, my bad, I'm sure.
Oh. Oh, it's right here.
Oh, is it that? Okay. Are we using these cups?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Which one has just vegetables? No.
Oh,
Chicken, pepperoni. It's chicken, bacon, pepperoni, right? Take the lid off.
Where's the bathroom?
That's
Yeah,
right there.
and that,
Yeah.
and that mug, there should be a big spoon in there. There you go.
Picture is one of my favorite things.
Oh, I was checking it out. Like, I
That
want one of
picture-
those.
Did you
That
look at the
picture is
thing in
awesome.
there?
Yes, it's ice bowl in the middle of it.
Mhm. I
You
saw that.
freeze the middle thing or whatever, and that
Uh-huh.
keeps it cold without getting
That's
the water.
super
That's delightful.
Because that's my big thing is like I always have to get
Water
soda without
things down,
ice
yeah.
because once
I don't
it
like it
starts
either.
dissolving, I can't eat it.
I can't do it anymore either. The same exact way.
Crushed red pepper, anyone?
I'm okay.
Do you have any uncrushed?
Yes,
red pepper?
please.
I might.
If you glue it back together again. Where do we order from? Pizza?
Pizza. This Domino's isn't real pizza.
Yeah.
Dude,
Mhm.
this is all that he can do.
Mhm.
You got a riding pony.
You got a riding pony.
Yeah,
What do you call it?
he's this tall.
Yeah,
but he
he's
doesn't move as
15s.
fast as other people.
Yeah.
Where's this pony at?
At stables.
Oh.
He lives in the city, so
Nice.
Where you from here?
nope.
D&D Greta.
D&D Bria. So apparently we have well, those three walked in together, but I walked in with a person, two people I've never met before. They disappeared. I'm walking to this tower that was only 15 feet wide.
Mhm.
I've been going on for a long time now. That's very like low light. And I feel like I should be able to see farther than what I can, but I can't.
Mhm.
That just keeps going on. And there's a big door, and now I'm in a workshop.
Mhm.
There's not that much room in a tower from outside, so you're like,
Mhm.
The Tower of Holding.
right?
It's Narnia. What you talk about?
Yeah.
Honestly,
And you
like,
came out and there's mythical creatures on the other side. So
Yeah.
I actually worked on that.
Maybe that's where Narnia is, in the Tower of Holding.
It's in the tower that with the address that doesn't exist.
Right.
So, do we
Thanks
walk
for,
in?
Pizza, by the way,
Yeah,
John.
thank you.
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
Oh,
you,
no
Jeff.
problem.
So they walk into it. Do I notice anything? Do I notice something?
You notice the door behind you opens again, which is weird because you didn't close it.
Huh. I did.
And you hear it open, and you see the three of them come in, connected by a rope.
I forgot about that.
They appear to be tied. They don't
We
appear to
look
be
like a
tied together. They're all just
kindergarten class.
carrying one part of a rope, like
Okay.
they're playing a game.
Hand to hand, yeah.
Yep.
Like a neutral tug of war.
So you guys didn't remember to let it go, but I remember it was there.
All right, and
Oh,
look,
we were holding it
I'm
before you
gonna
go.
take a quick look around again. These non-halflings, they weren't halflings, right? They were gnomes.
Now that you've been there a little while, there's one or two other races kind of around.
Okay.
You see an elf every once in a while. The
Oh.
one very obvious, having spent any time in the city, the most obvious thing is there is not a single human in the place.
Now, do they have a dress code? It seems.
Work clothes. They're obviously craftsmen, carpenters, metalsmiths, all that kind of stuff. Some of them are working with glassware. Some of them appear to be mixing things in beakers. And no idea what they're doing, but it looks really, really cool.
Okay. So I remember, like, you let me get beside one of these people before you cut me off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take it and kind of tuck my rapier in front of me and just try to act like I'm doing something and
Right.
keep my eye on them. Or did they see me? Obviously.
Oh, they come in.
No, we saw you.
Yep.
Okay, that's why I wasn't sure. I didn't know if they saw me yet or not. So at that point, then, if I know they saw me, I'm just gonna turn around and smile and be like, I'll pull a couple of coin out, flick it up in the air and catch it. Like, you guys got a coin?
Yeah, sure do.
There's another person that had it. Two other people have a coin, and I don't know where they are now. So now you're my friends with a coin.
At one of the closest tables, there's a little fire burning in the middle of the table, and somebody's sticking things into it. Appear to be metal, glassware, all that kind of stuff. And the gnome sitting across from him looks over his shoulder and says, "Knock!"
Excuse me?
Knock!
Is that a name, or are you asking us to knock?
The other goblin, the other gnome that he's sitting with, turns around and he says, "I."
Oh,
I understand that you are here to see me.
Nice.
Ooh, nice graphics.
It's easier than describing it.
Yeah.
So there you go. I got laboratory special effects.
I heard that.
I hear the coin flipping around that he's flicking.
So, we are here to see you.
It seems that way, but there should be more of you.
How many of us should there be?
I believe they've got lost somewhere.
Oh, what a shame. Well, they may find their way out.
I did want to ask.
We lose so many in this tower.
I did want to ask this guy who I haven't had the chance to be introduced to. Where did you lose the people you were with before? Was it in that dark room
Before the door.
before the first door? Or
Before this door. I point at a door. Before the door.
Okay.
No.
Mm.
So
See anybody
they
inside.
may let themselves out.
Perhaps they may have been lucky enough to get themselves out, but only the truly worthy can let themselves in. So if you've made it this far, I have an offer for you. And he stands up from the table, which is odd because he's not any taller standing. Sitting down.
I stand up.
He stands up and he's shorter. Come with me to my office. And he takes a step to the end of the table.
I'm just gonna walk over like, let's go.
Yep, you're already there.
Well, more like a couple steps.
Yeah. And the other gnome that was at the table goes right back to sticking things into the fire and setting things alight.
I dropped the rope.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, good.
I
Yeah, I already said that. So you were the
actually-
only one hanging on.
Yeah.
On better note, looking back at my new compadres,
I mean, you don't need
I'm
a
gonna
rope.
wait on them to
Keep
walk
that.
by me. And I'm assuming you guys are just going right. You guys are following him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you right on his leg. I'm just gonna grab it as he walks by.
Got an opinion about that?
I'm just like, whatever. I just keep on walking. Just,
Yep. Oh, much better.
The little guy going with you. So you go about 3 feet, because that's as far as he went. He went to the end of the table. And the other gnome, like I said, goes back to what he's doing. If you've spent any time at all in this city, you know that we have a problem. We, meaning those of us who are not of the human persuasion. The humans appear to be dividing the city and finding their allies, and we are being left behind, and we will be the casualties. So I am trying to gather all of those unallied people together so that someday, when we all need friends, for a variety of reasons, perhaps to return to a northern kingdom, or to find missing relatives, or perhaps even to stop evil things from killing those we love. Friends in high places would be good to have.
I'm here.
Okay, I'm like seriously, my character goes.
I do about the same, but I'm like,
So are you what's left of, the names that you know of, or
As far as I know, these are all the gnomes in our city that have survived.
okay.
No one else will allow us to work, so I have employed them all.
And no one knows you're here.
You do.
But besides the people you let know.
No one knows we're where.
True. Yes.
They're welcome to
I
come
guess-
looking to find an address that doesn't exist in a tower that can't be built, that has no doors.
Speaking of, what God's power holds this place together?
Yes. Anyway,
Huh.
So what do you need from us? And then I guess I just want to show them the type of coin. Like, what is this for?
that allows you to find a building that doesn't exist.
Oh. Okay.
Take
Is
my
this
coin
of
and buy
magical
it
value?
at this point?
Not outside of being able to find something mythical. Because otherwise, we are not here.
so me trying to comprehend that, there's magic in the world. I'm sitting here like, so magic really does exist.
Anyway, I am seeking allies among those who do not have any. And as far as I know, those of you who have made it to this room have not chosen a side yet. You are welcome to side with the humans, if you wish. But I guarantee you that they will not respect any of you to the extent that they will respect other humans. One of you has already experienced this. The rest of you will find out soon enough.
I'm gonna take the coin out and start down the weird knuckle finger trick with the coin.
I offer you,
Yeah. Okay.
I offer you an alliance, which you are welcome to walk away from at any time.
I was That's what I was saying. But I was going to look at everybody. Well, do we accept this alliance?
I'm gonna
I don't
lean
know
forward a
about you
little bit.
guys, but whenever I walked in that tavern, I didn't feel welcome.
Mm.
So I feel if I join the alliance, that I'll feel more accepted to the environment.
And now that he said that, you notice nobody in the room seems to care that you're here. Nobody stopped, nobody noticed, nobody stared.
And I felt almost pitied when I walked into the tavern.
I haven't had anybody care for my presence in many years, no matter where I go, even my own home. What do I get from this? I mean, what's in it for me, honestly? Because I've made my way through this entire world on my own. Like,
And now you have safety, you have security, you have wealth, you have power and prestige. You have none of these. And that is what I offer.
are you planning to start a war?
I'm planning to win one.
Even better. I like the way you think.
So as most of you have noticed, you may choose a side. I hope you choose wisely. Each of you needs something from me. And as you may be able to guess, I need something from you. Which, by the way, I can get from others, so if I so choose. So if you turn down my offer, you are free to leave, and I will simply find another group to take your place.
How many more have you
Recruited.
or recruited?
4.
Are you all done or do you want some more?
I'm gonna get some.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Sarah, are you done or you getting more?
Nah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well, I am in full acceptance of this deal.
Excellent. That's 1.
I'll also, or yeah, I'll also accept.
That's
Go
2.
with it.
I followed the same thing.
3.
I'm just looking around. You do realize he just asked you to join a war that he's probably going to put you on the front lines for. And he didn't actually tell you what you're going to get from it. This isn't my first time in a rodeo.
I have
One
the,
day you'll get that joke in the future.
I have the power of my god Tempest on my side.
Fair enough. I do not. How long do I have to make this?
Well, unfortunately, I need a task done tonight.
And what's the reward for this task?
The privilege of pleasing me.
Well, good sir, I understand your proposition here. But literally all I have seen is I walked into and seen a bunch of people working for you, and you promise wealth and comfort. But that's a promise.
It is.
That there is no toxicity for it. There's like no, I haven't seen anything tangible that, you know, we will actually get for doing this. For all I know, you want to use this as a puppet. Do you understand where I'm coming from, good sir?
And what could I interest you in? And he starts playing with some of the things on the table. There's like stuff scattered around.
Are they interesting things?
Bits and pieces, something shiny and something made out of leather.
So we're getting that
cloth.
shiny stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know, to be honest with you. The thing is like you came to us with an offer to help you, and I'm actually waiting on an actual offer instead of words.
The offer is an alliance. You
Okay.
ask of me what you need, I will ask of you what I need, and we will make an exchange.
I'm just looking at this big oaf, this fair haired fella, and this person who looks pretty familiar. I do that, by the way. Fine. I want to die. I'll do it.
Excellent.
Yes, I guess.
There's a family of halflings living outside the city. They have requested help. The local authorities are not interested in helping them because they are
Or us.
halflings. I'm hoping you can provide them with assistance. They sent me a note. I have it here somewhere. Here it is.
Getting better. I was about to start sketching.
Oh, that's all right. There you go.
Oh, just a little tip. About this whole time, I've been strangely looking at the female of the group.
You
Do I
should probably
notice him
just
staring at
state
me?
that you.
Yes, even though
check
you
her
only
out.
come up to his thighs, he's checking you out. How tall are you? You're like 3 foot something, right? Okay.
Put that down, I thought. I'm not good. Yeah.
You can try and do that Lego project as many times you want in your head. It's not gonna. I don't. Physically, I don't know if that's gonna work. But you're welcome to try.
I'm just checking it out.
roll-
I know.
Yeah, I just roll my eyes and scoff in the other direction.
All right. So each of the sheets that he gives you, and as you glance over other people's sheets, they're all written in different languages, and all of them are languages that you personally can read. But when you look at other people's sheets, you can't read them.
Okay.
So
Here we go.
all of us know common, but
But it's not written in common.
I can read hers.
Yeah. Well,
So it
I
helps.
also
In
read-
case it helps to hear it out loud, here you go. Our dear daughter Ella is a wonderful, kind, and helpful young girl. She is generally happy and loves helping around the house and taking care of her little sister. Recently, though, Ella has begun spending more time by herself, claiming to be playing with her new friend, Mr. Wicken. When we enter the room, though, she is quite alone. We thought she was just going through a phase like any other child her age, until we found one of the livestock brutally torn apart and its boiled remains cooking in a stew pot on our fireplace. Now we are concerned for Ella's safety as well as our own. Please help us get to the bottom of this nightmare and quickly. If you are willing to assist, ask for Poppy Briarthorn at the Brass Key Inn in the northwest corner of Golden Square.
Wait. I won't let it doesn't work the way I want it.
Is this a task you can help me with?
I'm more than willing.
I'll see what
Yeah, this
As
is
long as
something
he'll let me
that
hit
I'm-
right, I'll go. God. God's help me. I'm gonna die.
I get it.
You see what I did there?
I tell him to get on my back.
It's getting better and better. I like this.
You like it's gonna be like a little Pikachu.
Yep. I'm gonna scurry up and just kind of, because I mean, literally, I am 2'10" and 33 pounds. I'm just gonna scurry
You
up.
could walk around with one of them on each of your legs, honestly.
That's what I said. Like earlier, I just
Probably
like
need
jumped on
those.
the leg and like, let's go.
Excellent. I will expect to see you all at dawn. Have a lovely evening. And he goes back to work at the table. You can keep talking to him if you want, but
No,
he turns his back to you.
I
Let me
guess
get
we
out of
should, go to the Brass Key Inn.
Wait.
Is that
Did he really just give us the dawn to complete this task?
The what?
I really think he just gave us a dawn to complete this task. I told you guys it wasn't going to be this simple. I told you we were all going to die. We better go. We have one night to do whatever this note tells us to do.
Oh, the way that I interpreted it was we're going, and then we go to the task at dawn.
Hmm.
So we're going to do the task, and then we're reporting back to Knock at dawn. Okay.
I look.
Which means you technically have less time than that. Because you've been back here by then.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Onward, giant.
I look at the female and say, you want to ride too?
Oh.
Oh.
I can scurry.
Oh, she can stir on her own.
All right.
So, I don't know how to point it out, but anyway, we should probably go, guys. We should really
We're
go.
going. We're going.
We don't have much time, or we'll
So I already-
get fired, or we'll get assassinated. I don't know what the deal is of breaking this. We never asked. We just, well, I was trying to get to earlier, and we
Garot.
Garot.
We're going to the brass can.
To the breast can. I like breast cans.
I'm with you, bud.
Fist bump.
My hand's just.
That'll be a thing in the future, by the way.
So we're gonna go find the lock and
Yes.
booby.
That's-
Okay, excellent. Good to know.
Onward, giant.
Onward, giant. All right. Well, you turn around if you're interested, and there's that giant door there, the same one that you came in through.
Do you see any other exits? Just
How tall is this place?
looking around quickly.
4 or 5 stories.
Like the ceiling?
Yep.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't 4 foot.
No,
I'm like,
no visible
So
stairs.
it's just a
no
giant
anything.
room.
Just a giant, like
Okay.
almost
Because
like
it was
picture
small.
a giant
That's a good
warehouse.
question. Yeah.
okay.
Picture a giant warehouse with just tables and tables, and everybody's working.
Cool. Giant
So
war
we
losing
go
time.
and open the door.
Are we all heading toward the door?
Yes.
Like I said, I want to take a quick look around, see if
Oh,
there's
yeah.
any other exit. But you said no, right?
No.
Okay.
Nothing
I look
obvious
at-
anyway.
I
I'm
look
just
at the
telling
other-
him to go.
Or are there any windows?
There are not.
No, like ceiling windows.
No.
I don't know what that would be called.
I'm gonna kind of nudge with my foot. Yeah.
I look at
We
the
need to
other
get in
players.
stirrups.
This is gonna be great.
I use my backpack
Spurs.
track.
I'm gonna kind of lean down. I was like, I've never seen anybody so tall in my life. By the way, this is fun.
I look at the other party members. Grab the rope.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we open the door, is it the same foyer that we saw when we came in?
The door swings slowly open. I'm sure all of you are paying attention to the door slowly opening. And you are in the square where the tower was located.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Nice shortcut.
Nice.
Give me a perception roll.
Not a very good one.
21.
7.
Nat 20.
Nice. Okay, so the sounds of the workshop have stopped. You don't even notice. You're just looking out the door. Cool square.
Yeah.
Oh, as we're still inside, or did we walk through?
You've just opened the door. And as you open the door, the sounds of the workshop behind you stop. You turn
Yeah,
around.
so we turn around.
You are in a tower, approximately 30 feet across, all stone. You look up, it's about three or four stories high.
We're in where we perceive to have like what it looked like from the outside.
What it looked like from the outside, now it looks like that from the inside.
Perfect.
I want to kind of my
Is there
foot
any-
because obviously I'm not realizing what's going on. Nudge a giant. Just move, giant. We've got time. We don't have time for all of this.
I'm like, all right, guys, let's go. I take my rope back.
Do we notice anything else at all? No.
What are you looking for? Well, you just opened a big door.
I see an
It opens
exit.
up into the square. You see the alley that you walked down.
Okay. So when we, I guess.
And those of you, because all of you would notice this and everything, you are now facing the alley, which is really odd because when you went into the door, it was on the other side of the tower.
Mhm.
I have a chance to catch them like really just and gawk and like hesitating, like they're just not moving at this point.
Well, they're checking stuff out. The door opened. There's someplace that they don't expect them to be. Two of them, at least 2 or 3 of them turned around to look
That's
behind
what I'm
them.
getting at.
Yep.
Okay, so they definitely.
Yep, they're all hesitating.
That's a little better.
Okay.
10 for perception
Okay.
at this point.
Well, you notice them stopping. and
Right,
turning
that's what I'm
around,
getting
so-
at.
There you go.
And so I'm gonna look back, obviously, and like, oh,
Well, I mean,
that's peculiar.
well, I mean, I guess, once the seal is breached, it could be, hey, let's just keep going on to them.
Guys, we don't have time to worry about this. I really feel like if we don't complete this in time, we're dead.
Down at the other end of the down at the other end of the alley, you can see the last fires as the marketplace closes for the evening because it is now dark.
So we're at are we in the Golden Square? Is that the square that is
You are
open
not.
yet? Ah, well, I don't know where I am. Does anybody know where
I
we are?
do.
Give me a general intelligence check.
Oh, Jesus, that's not good. Okay, 16.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully
Anything-
I know.
Anything the intelligence or the perception checks about stuff inside the city, you get the +2 from
Okay.
just being there as long as you have.
Thanks, because that
Everyone
makes
get-
sense.
Nope,
yeah.
everyone's gonna get a bonus for whatever their area of expertise
That makes
is.
sense.
So
Yeah.
whenever
I,
you check
I
on
appreciate those rules.
that's a proficiency kind of thing because that's what you spent your time doing is traveling the streets and knowing where all this stuff is. Not only do you know where this square is, you know where the tavern is, and you know the fastest way to get there.
That way, giant.
Let's go.
Anything that you're doing along the way, anything specific that you're looking for, or you just want a general
I-
description of what you're passing?
I mean, I'm just going to. I already know the area apparently, so hopefully I will notice anything unreasonably out of place.
Okay.
But really, I'm just like making conversation on the way.
Yeah, you guys haven't even introduced
All
yourself.
right, that's what I'm
Oh,
getting
yeah.
at.
As just have a little bit of fun with it, skipping with him on my shoulder or something.
Giant.
Fun.
My writing skill is not superb.
I need a marching order.
I mean, big guy that.
Yeah,
with
he's
the
on
guy
my
who's
shoulder, so
guiding
he's telling us
would
where
be
we're going. So,
So you guys are up
first.
front.
I mean, I guess like walking speed
I got your
is
back,
a lot
Giant.
less than what his
You're
would
on
be,
my
so I
back,
would be
yes.
probably trailing behind.
Okay. Or in the middle so that
So you're-
you don't get left
I
behind.
was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Or the two of you can walk next to each other because you have obviously a similar background. You even dressed almost the same.
Mm.
So you guys can walk next to each other and kind of check in both directions.
Sure.
So like a little triangle kind of thing.
I ask,
Cool.
Does that work?
Heffen.
Yeah.
I ask you, may I ask your last name?
First and S.
Should probably write that down.
Do you need his last name?
I don't know, might be it.
I figured everyone would just call each other by first name, so I didn't.
Right.
I don't know.
We have a pretty cool last name.
That's why I put it. I thought it was funny, so I
Right.
It came up on the generator.
Green
like,
leaf and tall
immediately.
fellow. But anyways, so I mean, obviously they both have bows, so I'm just going to assume that they're good at range.
Thank
And obviously he's armed to the teeth, and I'm going to just assume you're good at.
Yeah. Do you guys want to just give like other than what's in the picture? Do you want to give a little bit of a description about what people would notice about you? We're talking about obvious stuff. If you have a dagger hidden in your boot or something like that that nobody would know about, don't even mention it. But something that people would notice, I move really stealthily. My eyes are never still. I'm constantly searching. My hand is on my sword at all times. Anything like that. I know you have multiple weapons that everybody would probably notice right away, and a shield, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys notice that I do have a slight tattoo on my forearm of a symbol that none of you guys would probably know. But you do notice that it is the same symbol as the ring that I'm wearing.
Okay. Good to know. You got the shield on one arm.
Yes. And that's arm that you can see it on. I have the shield wrapped here, and you can see the tattoo here.
Are you carrying one of the weapons out? Or are they both slung?
I have my warhammer, to my side, and I have my battle axe, on my back.
Okay.
Pretty accessible.
So generally speaking, for the ranger types and everything, two of the biggest weapons you have ever seen in your entire life. You're not 100% sure what you could possibly need a weapon that size for, but you probably do not want to be on the other end of it.
Is it about the size of us?
It is
Yeah.
about the size of, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a giant two-bladed axe, and You know what? Give me insight rolls for the two of you, because this is not something 20-sided die, and then add your insight bonus. If you natural 1.
You go blind.
Only you have lucky.
You guys also notice that I'm not very well
Natural 1
footed.
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Oh,
natural 1
okay.
is what we call a critical failure, which
Okay.
means you are going to draw a different. In this particular case, you're going to draw a different conclusion. You're going to be convinced that it's right,
Okay.
but it's not.
Mm.
Right? So you are going to know something out of game that you that your character
Doesn't know.
Okay.
And then I got 14.
Okay. So like I said, these are two huge weapons. He would obviously do a massive amount of damage with it, but you're wondering why the handles on those weapons are so big, and you suddenly realize, while somebody his size can probably swing them with 2 hands, like any normal people, he can probably swing it with 1 hand. And while you can imagine the amount of damage it would do with 1 hand, you have absolutely no idea what it would do if he brought that hammer down with both hands.
Immediately a sense of like, intimidation, like even more want to like.
He's got the biggest weapon you've ever seen.
It's like a
I'm
mixture
trying,
of
man.
like
I'm trying.
doubt. And,
My weapon's as big as you.
I don't know. I
It's
know what
bigger.
I mentioned that. So
You're trying to imagine what it would be like to be hammered by that thing, but it's big enough for 2 hands. I'm trying, man. I'm really I'm laying the groundwork, man. It's just, and he's got like a charisma of like 107. So you're probably,
He's pretty dashing, whether you
He
like
is.
it or not.
yeah.
You might choose not to like him, but you can't help but to like the guy. That's a paladin. You just can't help but to like him.
I find it pretty funny though. Oh, also, may I ask, or I ask him, do you know any of the laws on prostitution?
So he's got a hammer in his side. So he's obviously like a smith or something like that. Maybe that's with metal or something. He's got an axe on his back, which doesn't look helpful to you, but I guess he's like a woodcutter or something. So you
lumberjack.
gotta wonder, yeah, it's like a lumberjack or something. It doesn't look like something that you would have used, but to each his own, I guess. But when you're big enough, I guess you can cut down trees with whatever you want.
I
The
would
question
know.
is, why
I
the
gotta
heck is
find
he
out
carrying around
if it's
the
yes
stick?
or no.
Okay.
So he's probably pretty useless in a fight. He's a big, And he's got a shield with a pretty picture on it. So
Is prostitution legal in the city?
sure, why not?
Yes, prostitution is legal.
Okay.
He asked me, and my character would know, so I had to
Absolutely.
find out.
I just have a little.
That's one of
If
his
you
flaws,
belong,
by the way.
if you belong,
Oh no.
That's my flaw is I look at women and that's why I looked at you like that.
if you belong to the right faction, you can find pretty much anything you want.
Awesome. That's good to know. Well, I mean,
Just like an out of game
Yeah.
What's it called? None or
Knowledge.
whatever. The word Yanni also is means vagina. So
Ah,
oh,
it's very
yachty.
Good to know. Thanks.
very
Yeah.
yonic. Like if you hear something's phallic, then maybe
Got
it
it.
looks like a dick. If something's yonic, it looks like a vagina.
Right. So we got the guy with the giant hammer and the woman named after. Okay, never mind. All right, there we go. We know where that's going. There's rules for that. Let me look them up. Roll 320-sided die. No. Okay.
see if
So
it's hammer time.
So we got some interesting things as you're walking along. You guys are walking through firelight, you're walking through darkness, walking through firelight and everything. There are
Yeah.
torches lit all over the city, so you notice a little something about the half orc. Anything that they would notice?
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say, guys, since we're going to be working together, apparently, there's some things you should probably know about me. I'm only good at 3 to 4 things, but I'm very good at them. I'm good at backflips. I can do more backflips than anybody in my hometown. I'm good at making people believe what I want to tell them. I'm good at lying to people. And I'm really good at disappearing. That's what I'm good at. So if that comes up, I'm the guy for that for you.
All right. So
Great, a circus performer.
Yes.
That's just what you needed.
That's exactly what you need.
Yeah.
A card.
Is there anything physically they would notice about you? That
I mean, obviously I'm 2'10", 33 pounds. I do have a short bow strapped to my back.
Mhm.
Obviously I have a rapier Physically though, I'm pretty not. I don't stick out a whole lot except for I'm tiny, and I do that on purpose because I need to disappear and
And
blend
how
in.
are you dressed? Are you like kind of dressed like
Pretty
this
much.
dude, but or like are you
I'm
more
dressed,
in dark?
I'm dressed down
Okay.
and kind of neutral colors.
So yes, you notice that he's got toy weapons, which is really cute.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that children would.
I mean, that rapier is literally probably about that big.
Yeah, he's got a little.
Toothpick for you.
I'd like to call her.
He's got needle.
By the way,
I've got needle.
by the way,
No,
thanks for saying my name is interesting.
you're welcome.
What is it?
Stark. Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And he's carrying needle, so that
Yeah.
works out nicely.
But it's also Iron Man.
It
Right.
is.
It's common.
Tony Stark.
Any
Yeah,
yes.
but that's
It's
Not
been
what I was
used a
going for.
bunch. That's
anything
what I'm
they
saying.
anything they would notice about you?
Other than the fact that I'm also really short. I mean, I'm very, very tan, and I have more lighter hair, I would say. So very, you can probably tell that, I guess. Trying to think. I haven't really developed too well the backstory. I'm so sorry. But yeah, no.
So as you're walking through the city and you're taking directions from him, every once in a while he stops talking for a second and you kind of listen and look around and do your thing and everything like that. And every once in a while you find yourself for no particular reason turning around to make sure that they're still back there.
Us two.
Normally you can hear when people are following.
Right.
But these two you can't.
Those two.
Mm-hmm. You literally have to keep turning
I
around
get
to
it.
check.
No, I get what you're getting at there.
And you would think creaking leather, an errant footfall, something.
They're
Everybody
good.
gives themselves
Yeah.
away. But
Nobody sneaks up on me.
I just kind of, since he's so small, I just kind of pat him with 2 fingers. I just pat his leg with 2 fingers, and I'm like, "You okay, bud?"
Yeah, I'm fine.
so it's kind
Everything's
of
fine.
you know,
I'm
the
just
back
I'm
of your
just
head.
making sure that
At that of your head.
Yeah.
Nicely
yeah,
done, dude.
just making sure everything's good. I own you too.
Okay.
Well, since we're still in town, would you guys like to walk in?
Hold on one second. Let me just finish going around everything. Are you carrying anything out, or is everything away?
Well, I did have a question about that. Like,
Sure.
how big is a quarterstaff? Is that going to be like is it going
A
to
quarterstaff
be
is about your height.
okay? Would it be a quarterstaff for a halfling?
Mhm.
Since it's like
Yeah, it's just sized for you.
okay,
That's it. It's like you've seen a movie like a walking stick.
okay.
Gandalf's staff.
Mhm.
If you watch the Lord of the Rings movies or anything like that, without the big head on the top. It's just something that you found somewhere. It was a cool straight stick. It's nice and sturdy and everything. You can use it to poke the ground and see whether there's soft spots or whatever. You can use it to pop something on the head. You can use it to.
So I'd be carrying my bow on my back with my quiver. I guess I couldn't carry both that and my quarterstaff, so I would be carrying my quarterstaff.
You could theoretically carry the bow in one hand and the quarterstaff in the other, but the problem is you can't use the bow with only one hand.
Are you talking about
So
strapping
there
them?
wouldn't be a point.
Mm,
You would literally have to drop the quarterstaff to be able to use the bow.
true. Would I be able to? Mm. So I could only be able to carry one of them on my back, not both of them.
On your back. Oh, I thought you were talking about in each hand.
I was-
She's talking
I
about
was talking
strapping
about-
them on
Oh,
your
you
back.
think you're talking about strapping both of them?
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Okay.
You can crisscross them, and that way you can grab either one when you need to.
Gotcha.
We can do that.
Okay. Cool. So I guess I have that, but because of how their size compared to me, I guess you can obviously see them. And then what was my other thing I had?
The advantage, by the way, the advantage to the quarterstaff in a populated area and everything like that is it's a weapon, but it doesn't look like one. It just looks like it's a walking stick.
Mhm.
Cool.
So like travelers going on trails and everything like that, you have a big old stick, and
Yeah.
so you
I'll probably
can.
be using it during this journey to like
That's fine.
like as we're like journeying. But I could probably do a little quick.
Quick tinkle.
Yeah. Quick
You got it.
Cool.
I'll give you that one. Anything
There was
else?
another one that I had.
No. I don't remember what it was. That's probably. I think it was just a dagger, and that's probably just in my on my side, like
Yeah.
Lara Crofted.
And if you want to change it over and you want to keep one out so that it's easily accessible and one where it's not quite so obvious, I would be fine with that too.
Cool.
So you just need to decide if that's what you want to do.
Are you gonna put into play like the way that you play our DM? Are you gonna put into play like which side that she pulls it out from?
Too specific.
I know. but,
Technically
like,
speaking, you can't really scrap a quarterstaff to your back anyway. But I'm assuming that with the amount of time that she traveled in the woods and needed to use her hands and everything like that, she would have figured out some kind of a strappy thing that we can just.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying though
holster or
is
Some kind of apparatus.
Yes.
how usually
a device.
you hold it. Like you pull it out this side, right?
Quarterstaff.
Yeah, you're gonna be holding it like you usually would. But if you pull out this side, you're gonna be holding it the other way.
Technically speaking, you can actually use a quarterstaff with one hand. It's in the rule. Quarterstaff is a one-handed
alright.
weapon unless you decide to use
Alright,
two
then.
hands. So it's just a big stick, and just like you can take a big stick and hit with one hand, you just do more damage with two.
Okay.
Now in the movies, you always see people using two hands because there's no reason why you'd want to use just one hand for a giant stick.
Once you got a dagger and other.
Right, you're just like
welling it around to
poking
keep
with a giant
people
stick.
out of your way.
It's like a spear. You could use it one-handed, but why would
Why
you?
would you?
There's no point.
Right, no point. I get it. Quarterstaff is a spear with no point. That's good. That's yeah. Ta-ha.
All right.
Oh,
Kind of a joke.
Anything that they would notice
Like
about,
it's what you
about your
said.
character as you're walking?
The bow on my back, and that I'm holding the dagger in my hand.
Okay. Out or underneath the cloak?
Underneath the cloak.
Okay. Good choice. And you
That's
have a
good.
second weapon, though I don't remember what it is. Short sword?
Yes.
And that's it at your belt.
Mhm.
Okay.
I see that. Is this made out of like brush?
Yeah.
So it's actually made out of that in the game.
That's a ghillie.
Okay,
Good to see.
makes sense.
He's camouflaged, which doesn't really help him a whole lot in the city, but
Hi.
But
Yeah,
why,
yeah,
would,
if you
why,
got-
why would he throw it away though?
right. If you guys make it to a park or something like that,
He
he's
just
disappeared.
He's out of there.
Look at the bush. Like,
I get it.
Look, Heffen turned
Yeah, all
around
right.
and he disappears.
I'm sorry. Okay, now we've gone around the circle, and everyone kind of has a feeling for.
Let's go.
And I have a feeling for who's carrying what. Okay. But you said as we were traveling to the city. Oh yeah, if there's anything else that you want to share with one another about, you would share your name
Yeah.
and like.
Oh yeah, yeah. We should also share like why.
one.
How did we become like I'm?
If you would like to share that,
Cool.
that's the reason why you
Um,
guys weren't here when we created one of those characters. You can
Yeah.
share it or not share it. You can make up a backstory that's totally false if you'd like.
One more thing about my physical appearance, you guys can see that I'm not very well footed. I'm not as nimble as you would see as the man on my shoulder. Well, half a man.
Oh, we should save that.
Just leave it there in case you need.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Holds dagger to throat.
Anything else that you guys are doing on your way to the Braski Inn?
Well, we saw the last market's closed down, so we can't stop. But like, would you happen to know of any? No, we don't have time. We have to go. Do we? Right?
Yeah,
Like, we're
it's
marching.
getting late.
Yeah,
Let's go.
like we are marching though, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're not wasting time talking because we're technically.
No, you guys are talking and looking at each other as you walk. But
Right.
you're all walking together, so I assume that you would see, eventually his cloak will blow back a little bit and you'll see that he has a short sword in his belt. It's something that you would notice. You would notice that, generally speaking, the two people behind you are not making any noise. That's just the way they move and everything.
And
You would notice
I
that the few
guess-
people who are out on the street take one look at him, and then you've never seen people move that fast in your entire life.
I guess one thing you guys would notice about me is I'm try to be always alert, and something that's probably going to happen a lot, Tim, is since I'm using you as my giant horseback, I'm
Where's
going
your pony?
it's in the stable. I most times going to ready an action that if something happens, I'm going to do a backflip off of you and drop into the back of the crowd and just fucking disappear. And like a lot of times you'd see me like actually crouch versus hanging on. and just ready and just scoping everything out all the time. That's something you'd probably notice.
Probably why
Thinking-
you're so
thinking on it.
perturbed. by the fact that
Okay.
you hear this.
So,
Yeah.
anybody else have anything else to say? We all good?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, when I was 7.
Yeah,
Well, shut
how far a walk is it to this inn? Where are we going?
Not very far.
Not very far.
That's what I thought.
20 minutes tops.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we walk there.
And
Okay.
did you hear about my most son being readied?
Yes.
Okay. Like this one thing probably someone would notice if they actually watch me is I'm being alert and like my feet are planted on his back and just ready to spring off if I need to.
Okay. All right. Generally speaking, the streets are pretty sparsely populated at this point, and nothing weird happens or anything like that. You get a better feel for the city. And you do notice on the way, the few people that you see who are not human are scurrying somewhere. The humans are the only ones who are walking and look like they belong there. They're walking in small groups, they're laughing, they're talking, they're on their way somewhere, they're coming from someplace where they're drinking, they're going to someplace where they're drinking or whatever. Anyone who is not human, generally speaking, is walking in ones and twos. They're not talking, they're trying to be unnoticed. They slip off the street into alleys when groups of humans come by and then continue on their way.
So we put a little tips on it. We should maybe get to this inn.
Let's get there.
And we arrive at the square. The tavern appears to be more busy than it probably was during the day because nothing else is open.
Is this the same tavern that?
It is not.
Okay, I already
This
asked
is in a
this.
different part of the, yeah, no, it's okay. All right. So yeah, the other one was only one street away, if you remember. It was one street north of where you were, and this is about a 20-minute walk by half orc. Yeah. It's a 20-minute ride.
Told you should have took that ride.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So there's the Brass Key Inn with its big sign out front that has a large brass key.
Is it N anything?
It's not in yet, but it appears that many of the patrons are desperately trying to open particular
Open
locks.
the locks.
Yes, exactly. There's laughter, there's singing, there's all kinds of stuff, and the doors are propped open.
Okay.
So we ain't got a knock, right?
I get it, knock.
Oh, we're looking for. So we walk in.
We're going to ask. We're looking for Poppy.
Looking for a poppy Bridethorn.
She can call me Poppy.
At this point, I am just going to drop off his bag.
Okay.
And oh, there we go.
I'm all set.
Tim's ready for this. I'm gonna drop his back and be like, "All right, guys. I wouldn't usually say this, but let's split up, gang, and
Yeah,
try."
we can definitely do more damage that way.
Yep. But I say we meet up at the. I mean, how big is the place? Let me get there first.
It's a pretty good sized
That's what I'm
tavern.
saying.
It's got private, you know already. It's got private meeting rooms. It's got an upstairs with rooms and everything, and just kind of they're obviously new to this particular town. Two of them especially, who may not have ever been in a city this size before. So it's possible that sending them off on their own
They
is
might
not
die.
necessarily.
That's fine.
I'm just.
So I'm going to go up and talk to the barkeep and see what we can find about Poppy. I suggest everybody come to the bar and have a drink with us. Maybe we'll loosen some people up. Since you guys seems relatively new to town, we should just go and have a couple drinks and relax and try to find this Poppy.
Okay, is that smart time wise, or should we just ask them if where Poppy is?
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if he just says, "Yeah, here's Poppy," then that means we don't have any drinks.
Ah,
So we're splitting up?
No.
no,
No.
we're all going to the bar.
Okay.
Start to make your way to the bar and give me a stealth roll.
Ooh.
I can't see it.
Not
Not
20.
20.
Okay. All right. So you turn toward the bar or whatever, and he just goes, "Oh, there it is," and
disappears.
You have absolutely no idea how he did, because there's literally no room between the people.
And I can do that.
And he goes, "Oh, I see it."
So he just left it.
Well, he assumed. I guess he assumed that you were going with him, but
Well, that
Go
was
to the
number
bar.
4.
that was the plan. He
Go
said,
to the
"Look,
bar.
Here we go," and he was the one who went.
So, is there any way for us to keep up?
There is, but there's a lot of people very, very close together.
I mean, I'm also a halfling, so is there any way I can just, kind of like, I'll just go through leg.
Absolutely, give me a stealth check.
3, so 14.
Okay. So absolutely, you find your way through and everything like that. Not a problem. Ducking underneath people's legs. They don't even seem to notice that you're there.
And I have eyes on him.
And
I'm
you
following.
have eyes on him. Yes.
So the
And
two halflings.
the
just
two big guys?
disappear.
Pretty good. I had to do that a lot at Bonner. I'm pretty good at that. I overlap too.
We're gonna have to kind of like push our way through.
I'm sure people will stand aside.
Push. You can ask. You can follow behind him.
So I just start to walk forward.
Okay.
Walk forward. They better move.
All right. So there's a little bit of bumping, jostling, people who don't necessarily see you coming. Every once in a while, somebody turns around and goes, "What?" Okay. Takes a step back. All right. And actually, he makes a nice little cone right through the crowd.
Yeah.
But things are noticeably quiet through the area that you've traveled through.
People are just like.
And you get to the bar first.
Barkeep. I want to climb up on the stool next to the bar.
That's fine.
Barkeep.
And you get there as he's doing that. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn back to
Give
you.
me a beer.
Do you want a drink? You reached out really far to give her a high five.
All right. So give it about 10 or 15 seconds for you to make it through there and everything like that.
Bringing
And,
mail. Sorry.
Drink.
Sorry.
I'm
What?
assuming that the barkeep is servicing them last.
Actually, the barkeep came right over as soon as they came up to the bar.
Ah,
Is there something that the two of you need?
Well, I need a drink for myself and the lady, and I need a poppy. Do you know of a poppy?
It's a small plant. The herbalist shop is over there, but I think it's closed.
Is it that late already?
And he takes the two drinks, little tiny glasses.
I was asked for. I was told to ask for Poppy. I can't say the last name.
That's okay.
Briarthorn?
Briarthorn.
Briarthorn. It is. Is he available?
Or she.
She is servicing tables in the back right now. But,
Oh, awesome.
are you friends?
Not yet. I just heard wonderful things about her.
Yeah, we heard her service was great.
I'm assuming I'm getting there.
Yes.
I say I'm probably pretty above them.
Oh, for the love of God.
I say I would ask for service from Poppy.
Good job.
You as well.
Yes.
You're all together.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Oh, and this one in the back.
And I'll take a few coins and lay it on the.
And he sets you up with drinks.
That's right.
Just so you can convert in your head, this is going to be the general. Copper is $1, silver is 10, gold is 100, 1 to 10 ratio. So if you're looking for prices of things or whatever, you have a general idea of whether something is overpriced or whatever it is.
And EP is 1,000. I forgot what E stands for.
Electrum.
Huh?
Electrum. But we don't have it in it. Electrum and platinum are the other two. But they don't exist in Forgotten Realms. So
PP.
PP is our platinum pieces. Electrum is usually 500 and platinum is 1,000.
Okay.
So yeah. That'll be 3 silver for the lot, which is about $30 for 4 little drinks.
I got you guys. Thank you very kindly, sir. Shall we go and get a table over there?
That'll be 3 silver.
I'll just place 3 silver out and then take a copper and slide it his way as well.
Takes them off the counter. Start to examine the coins. Go take a table in the back somewhere. I'll let Poppy know you're here.
Thank you, kind sir. Start passing drinks out. Let's go have a table.
You can't pick mine up, so I pick mine up.
I'm sure I can pick yours up and drink it very quickly.
Oh, you old alcoholic, you.
Anything you doing on the way over the table?
I am.
I'm observing.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm getting at too.
I see if there's a group of women.
I'm going to watch.
Oh,
I'm going to climb up on his back. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep my eyes on the barkeep.
All right. All right. Give me a perception check. Go ahead.
That would have been a bad one. I almost picked it.
I guess I'd like to. I just would like to listen for conversation. See what they're talking about.
Okay. All right.
If they, yeah.
Yep. Give me a perception roll. Anything specific that you're looking for, or just anything that you think is a
Anything that
little
looks
odd?
odd, yeah.
All right. Give me a roll again and add your perception bonus.
21.
Anything specific you're looking for, or just general?
Women.
Just women. Good. Okay. So that's the easy one, I think. Women are in surprisingly short supply. The only women that are here are all accompanied usually by several men. There are no women by themselves, and there are no parties where the women outnumber the men, which is a little odd because
We
they
don't
have to be
see-
somewhere.
We don't see the server flitting around or anything like that. Such as Poppy. Who was serving in the back over there.
Right, she's serving in the back, and you are heading to a table. So you guys are going over to he pointed one way, and the tables are
Yeah.
in a different way. So
Oh, okay. So she was serving in the back.
she's in the
a different
back, and you were
area?
not invited to go in the back.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the back of the.
Yeah,
the
you were
tavern.
invited to go back up front and take a table.
Okay.
Yeah,
And share about.
I gotcha. No,
Which
I'm
areas
no,
friends
I'm clarifying. Yeah, and I didn't draw it out for you. All right, so the conversation all seems to be about people dying. There seemed to be a ridiculous number of people who died before their time. What happened to him? Oh, he's dead. Oh, amazing. What happened to his family? Oh, they're all dead as well.
Anybody saying anything about them being torn apart or anything
No.
like that?
Nope.
Just
A lot of, hey, have you seen so and so?
he's dead.
He's dead.
So nothing specific. Just death.
A lot of conversation because some people are having a good time. Some people look a little bit like they're lost in their drinks. But no one's by themselves, which seems a little odd. Everyone's sitting in groups. Almost everyone in here is human. There are a couple of tables of elves, and that's about it. Other than you guys, it's humans and elves, just like the rest of the city.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, did you fail your perception?
Oh, it was 3.
Okay, so you turn around to check on the barkeep, and he is no longer behind the bar.
I had a feel.
There you go. You guys want to take 5 and get stretched and get some drink? Or...
Yeah, sure.
I love this app.
What is it?
Oh,
The sounds remind me of the game I used to play.
Animal Kingdom, eh?
Yeah. It's called Sirenscape. And it comes with a whole bunch of like pre-recorded gaming music. And then you can buy other packages. If you decide, you can modify the sounds because the way it does it is this. For example, so here's the tavern.
Like if you want like more of like the voices or more
Yeah.
of the other
There's
things.
all the different sounds, and you can turn them on and off depending on what you want. You can make them louder or softer. So if there's a guy who laughs, and if he's sitting at a table close to you, you just turn up the volume on that, and every time the timer comes around, he laughs again. And you can make it louder or softer. There's a whole bunch of different options. And then what you do is if you want a different atmosphere, you change that and you can see the volume levels adjust. If you decide you don't like any of those, then you can manually turn them on and off and adjust the volume and just click the plus sign and create your own. So I like that, but I want the fire to be a little bit lower, and I want that guy to be laughing on a regular basis because he's really obnoxious. So you change it, you push the plus sign, you give it a name, and it appears as its own thing at the bottom. Like, where were you?
Ah. No. So that was the area, like
This-
the
yeah.
little warehouse that
I
you made.
created that myself because I had certain sounds that I wanted you to be able to hear, and the other one was just weird. So it's kind of
I
cool.
like little stuff like that. That's really cool. My friend, or I feel like she was more of like one of my teachers. But yeah, she loves that.
Did you get to try the sangria?
That's really good.
You like that? It's easy to make too. It's only like 5 ingredients. But the weird thing is when you first make it, it tastes like super strong with alcohol. The longer you leave it, the more like the balance is. The alcohol flavor comes down and the blackberry flavor comes up more. So I made that several days ago. It's been sitting in our fridge for a while so that you can get a little bit more of the fruity flavor.
Cool. Yeah, it's really good. I like that the ice is in the middle.
Yep.
And not.
We bought a set of those just for the
Just for-
blackberry sangria.
Yeah.
We use it for other things and everything like that, but yeah, you take that thing out of the middle, you fill it with water, put it in the freezer, and you just drop it in and you're ready to go.
Or just water down the content.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a condensation, do you think, or not?
Probably a little.
I don't know, because the liquid itself was already cold.
Yeah.
So there's no there's no liquid in the air as far as I know inside there to actually condense. There you go.
Oh, I thought I closed that, sorry.
Nothing, you gotta have me finish this.
Alright, I can do that.
All right, I'm relying on you.
I got your back, too.
Thank you, I appreciate that. You're always looking out for
Hope
me.
you have a good time.
I may have some more berries.
Thing you have. The thing that holds it.
Yeah, it's nice and sturdy, and it's got that ice thing in the middle. That's what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I really like.
Because I love things super cold, but I hate, we were talking about that, I hate when the ice starts to melt and it gets watered down.
Yes. Here.
Want to try berries?
Yeah.
I like the sound effects, by the way.
You like what?
The sound effects.
Yeah, I was showing Sarah the app and everything, and it's got,
cool.
yeah. I found it a couple of months ago and I decided to hold on to it. So it comes with pre-made stuff. So I went to the tavern and here's the 4 pre-made things or whatever. And then, so there are the different sounds that you can hear in the tavern. So you can turn them on or turn them off. They've got a timer. So it appears every so often or whatever, and then you can adjust the volume differently.
That's
So
pretty cool.
here's drinking time, and then you can see the volume
I see
things
that.
change.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it gradually changes,
That's pretty
and
cool.
there's background sounds and just fire. The best thing is that you can adjust them on your own, so that if you don't like them, you can make your own. So the laboratory that you guys went, Knox Laboratory, was one that I made
Okay,
because I didn't like any of the ones that they had.
that's pretty cool.
So I turned off certain sounds, I turned on certain sounds, I adjusted the volume so it sounded like the laboratory that I wanted you to go into. And there you go. And then because I noticed it on your computer and everything,
Mm-hmm.
there's all the special effects that you can do. So
Right?
Wait, what is that?
it's called Creepy Shop or something like that, and so it's got the different sounds that you can manually put in one at a time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So if you want somebody to ask a question, so the creepy shopkeeper, you don't have to do any of the voices or whatever. You can just click on it and everything like that, and there's your get out. All right, and here's all the sound effects
Oh.
for like
I
spells.
said that
And,
because.
Is there you defeated a creature?
You need to put a Final Fantasy thing in there.
victory.
Is that what that one is?
Yep, down at the bottom.
That's not bad.
It's always the bottom one, and it's different in the different settings.
Oh, okay.
So if you have an encounter in the creepy shop, that's the victory sound if you're successful in the creepy shop. So they have all these ones that come for free with the app, and then there's a whole bunch of them that they created down here, all the ones in blue that you can buy.
They have to buy them individually or just like pay
I don't know. I
it?
haven't sent any money, so I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think you can buy them in packages.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
Pretty cool.
yeah.
I like it.
So I was playing with it at home, and I'm just like, okay. And I found the like 4 or 5 settings that I thought you were going to go to tonight. So I made sure that they were all
a good idea how to use them.
they were all ready to go.
Where do you go?
There were a couple of them like
You
wait,
school?
what was that?
Yeah.
No,
Where do you go?
Vero.
Gnome Land Security. I got it.
Homeland?
Gnome Land.
That's awesome.
There's no place like Gnome. So you just kind of create whatever ambiance you want. I'm not used to using those. Usually I use theme music, but
Can I have some of these chips,
When y'all have to,
Those are awesome, aren't they?
lime.
I love the lime chips.
whenever you have to run or something, you should just start playing Yahoo.
Yahoo!
all right, I'm trying to figure out a natural break point.
Mhm.
So does anyone have a cutoff time tonight?
I figured we'd be going to like 10ish.
Uh,
That was is
I
that,
love
is
playing
that
tennis.
I kind of expected around 9.
9?
9ish? Okay. Because there's 2 or 3 different breakpoints and everything, and I didn't know which one we'd get to, and so I want to.
Because honestly, what happened is I had not planned on playing on Friday. I was actually supposed to leave Ocala tonight. And so instead, I rescheduled where I was going to leave really early in the morning.
We'll break that. That's
Oh.
fine.
That's what I
All
got.
right, let's get you where you need to go, and then we can break there. Because like I said, there's like 2 or 3 different
Right.
ones, and you're almost to the first one.
Good.
Anyway,
Good.
so okay. So after a little while, you're sitting at the table, and every once in a while, you get these kind of nasty glances from other people.
I'll flip them off.
And you are noticing that the ratio is about the same as it has been during when you were out and everything. Lots of humans, lots of elves, very few of anyone else. Every once in a while, you get a glimpse of somebody coming through. A dwarf comes through at one point, not one of the ones that you saw at the tower. And eventually, a halfling woman comes over to the table.
I'm just going to kind of lean at this table and smile at her as she walks over.
She looks extremely tired and haggard, and she's wearing an apron. And she comes over and she says, "How can I help you?"
I asked if she's Poppy. Oh, is she Poppy? Are you Poppy?
There you
There you
go.
go.
You're getting it. I know it's
Yeah.
not the most.
No,
Yeah.
it's a really hard art to learn and everything like that. And that's what sometimes people will say, "I do this," and I'm like, "Are you joking, or are you actually doing that?" Right? Okay. But yeah, you can just think about how your character would say it, and you can say, "I asked." That's perfectly fine. But then in my head, I can make it up any way I want. It's just easier to. The only time that you would want me to make it up is if like you have a certain skill, and you're just like, you know what? I personally don't know what I would add. My character would be suave and debonair and everything. He would be perfect. He would say the perfect thing.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I would say. So you can leave it up to me. And I'd like to say the perfect thing. Good,
Yeah.
give me a roll. You say the perfect thing.
Okay.
Okay. But in this particular case, are you Bob? I am. Do I know you?
Not yet, Poppy. We were as like their gang, make
Because
sure
we-
they're not like doing like one of these numbers. And I was like, we were asked to come here and help you with a problem you might have.
I'll ask. Do you know a knock? Or
You're
do you know of
knock.
knock?
Yes.
I thought he would never respond. Come, let's find a room.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I want to follow her.
And she takes you around the little. It looked like a solid wall, honestly, when you came in, but that's because the walls are all the same color. And there's a hallway back there. She takes you down a short hallway, and there appears to be a little meeting room back there. It's got a table. It's only big enough for 5 or 6 people. And she gestures for you to come in.
I'm just going to walk on through.
Okay.
I have no worries about this lady.
Yeah.
And she comes in and she stands up against one of the walls. So very obviously not putting herself between you and the door. So, you know, he doesn't want you to feel threatened or anything.
I might actually gesture her to come sit with us. It's like, just relax. It's okay. Come talk to us.
And she pulls up a chair and she sits. How much has he told you?
Nothing.
I guess we'll
Yeah, I'll
show
pull,
her the
I'll
the
just
letter.
pull a note and just, that's what we know.
Ah, well, things have gotten worse. I'm afraid you should probably see for yourself.
Yeah.
I'll go let Jason know that I'm leaving early for tonight. I'll take you out there myself.
And I guess we should also let her know we've been given till dawn to sort this out. Is it too far past that point?
I suppose I don't really know what the problem is, so I don't know how long it'll take, but I hope
We'll wait here for you. Just be swift.
very well. And she gets up, she glances up and down the hallway before she goes out, and then she heads back into the main room.
All right, guys.
Well,
This is about to get really good or really bad real fast.
do we know? I don't know what we're gonna be messing with. He might know what we could be messing with.
I'm confused of why I even agreed to this. But
And I guess at this point, I would like to share, be like, you see, I came to town because creatures in my town were also being ripped to shreds and everything.
Oh.
So my nature was being affected by this. So if people are being affected by this all the way over here in this town, it could be a force.
you think they're related then?
Is there anything else that could have drawn you, similar to this, could have drawn you to this quest as well?
I was born here and made a quite a good profession. I don't know why I'm here at the table with you guys, but here I am.
I'm in search of my lost sister.
Mm. And you just so happen to be given a coin along the way.
You hear somebody obviously coming down the hallway. It even sounds like they're trying to make noise. And then she comes to the door. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I have a horse and cart waiting out back. Take us out to the farm if you're ready.
You'll
All right.
follow her?
We should go out the back way, perhaps.
I'm gonna climb up
Yeah, we
and
don't
grab
want.
a hold of his back.
Yeah, like we don't want anybody to, I guess, see us go.
In case you haven't noticed, things are hard for our kind. So she turns around and she heads in the opposite direction back down, continuing down the hallway that you guys came out of the tavern.
Point over your shoulder towards the way she wants us to go. Kind of kick you a little bit.
That way.
And there's obviously a back door to the tavern where they take deliveries or whatever it is. And when she opens up the door, there is a cart outside with a very patient, tired-looking horse strapped to the front.
Poor horse.
And she begins to climb up behind the horse and takes up the reins. And she looks at the tired horse. And then she looks at the half-orc. And then she looks back at the cart.
Mm.
I suppose we should go.
I mean, what's your walking speed? Like,
Base 30.
okay. I mean, is that
Horse
fast
is
enough?
40, right?
Yeah,
I feel like,
he's human walking speed.
I mean, I don't know. Poor horse. I don't know, it'd be your choice.
There is enough room in the cart for everybody. But
Do I see any other horses or anything around?
Where's your pony?
It's a small riding pony.
Ought to be as fast as a horse, right?
Oh, you're going to take all 30 pounds.
Yeah, you actually know where you are in back of the town.
That's
I
what
mean, it's just a back like delivery route.
Right.
There's a couple of places on there. There's a merchant right across the way. In fact, with the back door that leads out there, and this is just the little path where
Right.
the carts come and make deliveries or pickups or whatever it is. It appears that this is the only cart in the alleyway tonight.
Well,
So, do we need to tell you, we get on the cart to go?
If that's
Yeah.
what you're doing.
yeah,
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 yeah.
I guess that's what
Okay.
we did.
I don't see a better choice. I was
All
going
right.
to steal a horse for you, but
Yeah.
sorry, guy. I
So-
looked out for you.
Yeah. No problems, of course, until the half arc gets in and you feel the wagon sort of settle on the wheels and make a creaking sound.
And he's kind of look at the dude and be like,
And
come on.
as soon as you guys are in and settled,
Would I happen to have any cocaine on me?
For the horse.
I couldn't help it.
And she kind of taps the horse a little bit with the reins, and you can feel the horse straining against the wagon, and gradually the wheels start to turn, and away you go.
Thanks, giant.
I asked her, how long
I'll
is the
just pat him on
journey?
the back after that one.
Oh, as long as we can keep up this pace, unless there's a problem in the roads or somebody stops us, it shouldn't be more than about 30 minutes or so
Okay.
to the outskirts of town.
So, can you tell us more about this? She already told us she doesn't know much. Or,
She said it's gotten worse, but it's really something you need to see right yourself.
okay.
Anything you want to do on the way? Sit in the car, talk, play dice.
I am going to just prepare for the worst.
Good.
I like the way you say that.
Not a bad ride until it starts to rain.
Oh, 4-horsey.
There's no tarp in the wagon. There's not much. Those of you who have cloaks can kind of hide underneath them. If you got a shield, you can hold it over your head.
I'm just going to lay back.
But
I take my
generally
monthly
speaking-
bath.
Generally speaking, she doesn't even seem to notice. She
Mhm.
doesn't flinch. She doesn't hide. She doesn't bow her head or whatever. It's almost like can't get any worse.
It's whatever, yeah.
So
Like I said, I'm just going to, I mean, knowing my character, like, what am I
Yeah.
going to do? I'm just
aware of
I'm just
everything.
going to lay back and
Yeah.
accept it.
Okay.
You know,
There are fewer and fewer people as you get to the outskirts of town. You leave through one of the big open gates of the city wall, and the guards don't even seem to notice one way or the other. Though there are armed guards at the gate with armor and pole arms. The big,
Cool,
tall,
yeah.
whatever. All humans. As you leave town, you go through a marketplace outside of town, which is not a place that you spent a lot of time. So it's actually kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
And very quickly that fades into the background also, and you are out in farmland. The road becomes less and less well taken care of, and the wagon starts to rock and appears to be slowly filling up with water.
Oh. Is there back hatch? Anything? Or is it just
Oh, it's not a pickup truck.
I assume it's kind of tilted forward a little bit all the way into it. And
true?
so-
It's tilted toward wherever he's sitting.
right.
Because I think he probably weighs about the same amount as the three of you put together.
That's what I'm saying. Even if I got my riding dog, if I ran to the stable, got my riding pony, it wouldn't have made much of a difference.
Because you wouldn't have taken much weight.
Right. And you can't ride my pony, you'd kill it.
Just oh,
Shortly, she takes out a lantern and she lights that and she puts it out on a pole next to the horse so she can see the road a little bit better. And after a short time, you guys arrive at what you assume is the farm because she turns off of the main road onto a dirt road. There's a set of buildings in the distance that are very difficult to see through the rain. And as she pulls up, you can see lights are on in what looks like a farmhouse, kind of sagging and falling apart, but smaller than you probably would have expected. It's halfling size.
Any animals that we can see?
There are horses out in a pasture off to the right, which is, give me a nature roll, everybody.
Nature.
Nature.
20.
D20, yep, and then just add your,
That's about what
nature.
I expected.
okay,
I got a 1.
and rating.
Do you have lucky?
Huh?
Do you have lucky?
I do have lucky.
Yeah,
I
you
just
reroll.
kidding. I have 14.
There you go.
Minus probably
Minus
something.
one.
What's the
lucky.
Lucky is a halfling's special ability
I can
where he can re-roll ones, but he has to take whatever he gets after that.
Okay.
So you can do the same thing.
I mean,
Halflings
I
don't get a
gotta
lot of other
say,
bonuses and everything. They're smaller, they're lighter, they're,
Just like-
they have some disadvantages, but that's
Just like during that crowd, I can literally
That's
just
okay.
go between people. Like,
right. How did you do on your nature roll? Okay.
I got
Um,
14.
Generally speaking, the two of you guys don't notice anything weird or anything like that, but you're wondering why the horses are out in the rain.
Yeah, why they haven't gone closer to the house or
Stable, a
shelter.
barn, something. Okay, and
They
as you
feel
go,
stable?
as you move further on into the farmhouse and everything, you see there are lights on in the farmhouse, and off to the right, next to the pasture where the horses are, is a barn or a stable of some kind, which presumably is where the horses are. It's supposed to be.
Should be.
Should be.
And I'm just like, oh, horses.
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, all those horses, then they're out in the pasture, and
Well,
that just doesn't occur to you.
what I do is, I'm assuming we're like parked like in front of the house or whatever.
Yeah, have you?
I tell
Poppy.
Poppy, stay in the car. Let us check out the house first.
Perhaps you should start with the barn.
Oh.
Poppy, is there anything you'd like to tell us before we go to the barn?
We need to know everything.
That's what you need to see for yourself.
Fair enough.
Should
Man,
we be armed?
lady, arm yourself.
I pull out this big ass.
Yeah, arm yourself. I'm gonna pull my bow out,
I'll just
and I'm gonna like giant take the lead.
Okay.
arm myself with my quarterstaff.
Dark vision.
I have to.
Everybody, right?
Yep.
No.
Halflings don't.
Halflings do not. So you need to take the lantern with you, or light a
Yeah.
torch.
Or I think I have a torch. You have torch?
I have a lantern.
Okay.
I will put my bow away and pull a rapier out. I was like, I have a hooded lantern.
I was gonna say torches are not gonna stay lit in the
Right.
rain.
But I could project in front of everybody.
Okay.
But I'm gonna take the middle at that point.
So you guys know that you can see in the dark. So if you would rather take point ahead of the lantern light or take the back and guard because you don't need the light to be able to see, that's totally up to you.
I should take front. You should take back.
All right. So the paladin is out in front. The two of you are off to either side. You have one lantern between the two of you.
Mhm.
Okay. And who's carrying it?
Wow.
So you've got the rapier out in one hand, the lantern out in the other hand. You're kind of angling the light past him.
All right.
That work? And then you're in the back, just kind of glancing behind every once in a while. 'Cause
Yes.
that's what you do. All right. It's a short walk up to the barn. The barn doors are open. And as you approach, you can see what appears to be a barn. It's got a hayloft. It's got places to put the horses, and it has an awful stench coming out of it.
awful stench, like manure, like how it
Rotting.
should smell, or
Like
like
rotting.
rotting flesh.
Like rotting something.
Smell of death.
Okay.
Poppy has gotten down off the wagon and she is following your trail extremely slowly. Like she wants to come with you, but
But doesn't
doesn't.
want to.
Right.
Okay.
So I guess the closer we get, like if we can see inside, like what do we see?
There appears to be somebody laying on the floor in the middle of the barn.
Are they moving?
So my lantern is enough to light up the barn for the most part.
I say Poppy.
Well, you can
stay
kind of do
back.
a path right down the middle. So
Right.
there's a path down the middle, there's
And
the
there's a little bit
hayloft,
dim light.
and then there's stables along the
I'm
side.
gonna literally take my lantern and set it by the door.
Okay.
And put my rapier back up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of drift into the shadows at this point.
I tell Poppy to stay back.
Give me a stealth roll in case we need it.
I tell Poppy to stay out of the barn.
10.
Well, is she
She's
that
trailing
close
behind you
behind?
about 25, 30 feet.
Okay.
She's about halfway between you and the wagon, and she stops when you tell her. So give me a perception roll.
Ah.
6.
20.
1. I go blind.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, a
So
squirrel.
you're gonna guess a child because even for a halfling, this person is incredibly small. That would be your guess.
This could be Ella.
And as you get closer, you realize that the pieces that you can see are not child size; they're adult size pieces.
Additional pieces other than the child that is lying there.
Well, it's
Homunculi.
enough pieces to be the size of a child. And as you get closer, because you made the roll and everything like that, parts are there, but parts are not.
I don't like this. This feels like necromancy. Frankenstein-ish.
Do I notice this or no?
Right.
8, so 13.
You see that the body is smaller than it should be.
Okay.
So we'll give you that.
So do I see the body at all?
You see somebody lying in the middle of on the floor of the barn, and they are not moving.
Okay. So I slowly walk up to the body.
Okay.
And I inspect it for any kind of symbol carved, anything modified to the
Hold on a
body.
second. Are you walking up or staying back?
I'm staying back. I'm
You
gonna
closer to the
follow
door?
him with my bow.
Okay.
I'm staying like 20 foot back.
I got you. Walking up or staying back?
I'm gonna stay back.
Okay. Walking up or staying back?
I'm gonna walk up with him.
Okay. As you approach, you find out that it is a halfling male or half of one. Everything from the waist down is missing, and everything that was in the abdominal cavity is trailing out down the ground. It appears, based on the signs on the ground, that something tore him in half, and he crawled to the position he is right now.
So is there like a trail of entrails, like leading up to like where he is laying?
Well, you
Yeah.
stayed back at the door, so I'm telling them what else they can see as they get closer.
All we're seeing
True.
is watching them
Right.
go
Yeah.
up.
You got the description that I gave you is what you got.
Like I said, I was in my bow knocked and ready. I was watching them. That's
So-
all I'm doing.
So
I'm gonna inspect the area.
Okay. Are you going into any of the stalls, or are you just kind of doing it visually?
I'll peek into the stalls. Yeah.
Okay. Ethan.
Do you have track?
I would like
Never mind.
to use my ability to find sense. Detect celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet.
So the usual way that you do that is you grab the holy symbol, you call on your deity, and traditionally you can either aim it in a specific direction, or what a lot of people do because it lasts for a little while is you kind of make a slow circle, and you sort of
Your
pan around that
radius.
way.
Okay. Yeah.
So if that's what you'd like to
So you
do,
like grab your ring and start
Okay.
concentrating and
Yep.
just
concentrate and you do like a slow circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
same
Just
thing. Yep.
Staying on ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Got it.
I mean, I feel like I should inspect
Two
more.
perception checks.
I think I should inspect more of the, like, the outside of the barn, or like see if
Okay.
there's anything hiding like that could have like run from doing this act. I
That's
guess.
So you're
Um,
kind of turning around and looking backwards.
Yeah.
So the one thing that you notice obviously is Poppy, who's sort of wringing her hands and waiting to hear what you found.
And has anything has anybody come out of the house or anything like that, or
No.
nobody has noticed that we have arrived besides like the people who are like,
No, your guess is that the sound of the rain and the wind and everything like that may have made it so they couldn't hear the horse and cart come up. And since nobody went to the house, they may not even know that
yeah,
you're
we went
there.
straight to the door.
Assuming that there's anyone in the house. There are lights on in the house, and considering the fact that it's all fire based,
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't leave it burning unless
there's somebody
there's
there.
somebody there.
Mhm.
So
17 and 18.
good. Okay, you do a really thorough investigation really, really quickly, honestly, because there's not a whole lot here. All the stalls look pretty much identical. It looks like they're well taken care of. The number of stalls is about equal to the number of horses that you saw outside. There are no footprints that you can find anywhere. And you're pretty good at tracking everything like that, other than what appears to be where this guy dragged himself a couple of feet. So you can see the spot where it probably happened because there's a blood stain. You can see where he dragged himself. But there are no footprints into the barn or out of the barn other than the ones that you guys made. Okay. And I'm sorry.
I casted.
Right. You got nothing. There are no undead, there are no fae, there are no fiends, there's nothing that you would normally pick up on.
So we're blind. So,
Well, what you're doing is process of elimination.
No,
Whatever
you
is
guys
going
are doing
on,
good,
it's
by the
none of
way.
those.
You guys are doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, I can see that they pretty much cover the whole barn, right?
Yeah, he's making his way
Right.
slowly around,
I
just
can
kind of
see all
checking
this.
checking
I'm
things.
going to pan
He's
back
going over
over.
and he's investigating the body, and he's doing that slow
I'm
circle
going to
thing.
pan back, and since I see they cover most of the barn, I'm going to go ahead and unlock my bow, put it away, put my hand back on my rapier, and lift a lantern again, and stand by the entrance of the barn, just like keep an eye on the outside at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
1, so 19.
The first one was a 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to do a critical
Oh,
thing
shit.
or whatever. So you're on guard. So if something comes up and bops you in the back of the head, you don't even know it's coming. There were a whole bunch of different things that you might have noticed, but you got none of them. So
Well,
there we go.
she has lucky though.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
You were re-rolling the one. You got the 19.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was like,
Um,
19.
So I'm sorry. No, I forgot about the lucky thing. I've honestly, in all my days of playing, I've never actually had a halfling run.
That's pretty cool
So
though.
it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I forget sometimes.
Pretty
about their
lucky.
abilities. Yeah.
Hey.
So there you go. So the 19 plus
It's 16 plus 3.
16
so
plus 3.
9.
Okay. So you notice the upper level of the farmhouse.
So there's a hayloft area.
The farmhouse,
Oh,
not the barn,
farmhouse.
because
Okay.
you were looking in the other direction.
true,
You were
true,
looking
true.
out. The curtains in one of the upstairs rooms is obviously moving.
Like wind-like, or somebody moved them.
It's very difficult to tell
Okay.
between the rain and the wind, and it could be whatever, but none of the other ones seem to be moving in the house.
Mm.
And you can see a number of the windows from here as you're facing the front.
Okay.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to check in the barn other than
I'd like.
I gave you all the stuff that I thought you would look for, but if there's something else.
No, I don't think besides like looking around outside, but they're outside. So.
Yep. Okay.
I like to see the face of the bed. and pretty much take a picture of it in my mind.
Okay.
And I'd like to go to Poppy and ask her, do they know who that man is? Was.
He's one of the farmhands who stayed. He went out this morning to round up the horses and put them in the barn. And my husband came during the day to let me know what he found when he came out to check on him. We're still not sure what the rest of it is.
I asked her, may I look around the house? Or may we look around the house?
Or
Perhaps it's time for you to meet Ella.
is there anybody in the house besides Ella?
Everybody's walked out of the barn now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set the lantern down and go check his pockets. What's
Okay.
left of him? Yeah.
He's dressed for farm work,
I was,
and
know.
so
Just making sure though.
yeah, you find a small trowel for digging holes.
Okay,
If
cool.
you'd like it, you can have it.
No, that's all right.
And
I at this point, I'm going to take the whistle out of my pocket
Yes.
and strap it on my wrist.
The whistle?
Okay.
I have a whistle.
It's cool.
All right.
And I'm going to backtrack the rest of them.
All right. So you guys are heading to the farmhouse. She's leading you over to the farmhouse. You are now very, very wet. For obvious reasons, if there was anything out here to find as far as trails or tracks or whatever,
It's
it is
washed.
probably getting washed. In fact, the rain has been coming down pretty steadily, and you are sloshing through puddles and little mini. Apparently every area of the land that was not level is slowly filling with water, just like the cart. So fortunately, there's enough light out here. Those of you who can see in the dark can see. Those of you who can't see in the dark, there is actually a gap in the clouds, and it's about 3/4 of the moon that's come out. So there is a little bit of light and everything, so that you can make your way to the farmhouse behind Ella's mom,
Okay.
behind Poppy.
I guess we're approaching the house.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill my lantern and put it up at this point.
I'd like to walk next to Poppy.
Okay.
I'll hold her hand.
Just
I
go.
can't help it.
She opens the door of the house, and it creaks ominously because that's what doors to farmhouses do. All right.
Fair enough.
And there are candles burning in the room. It appears to be a very comfortable living area, though everything looks like it's kind of falling apart. Nothing is well taken care of. Everything looks like it's been there for years and years and years and has never been repaired. There are several chairs in the room that appear to have broken and been left just where they sat.
That's odd.
She takes you over to a staircase and she yells up and she says, "Ella, are you here?" And there's no answer. So she starts slowly up the stairs. The stairs are relatively narrow and they are built for halflings. So anyone over about 5 feet tall has to duck a little bit to get up the stairs, and it's only one across. So Poppy is going first. Who's up second?
I'm last.
I'll be in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
I asked Poppy, is there enough room for her to like go under my legs or anything?
She could go immediately behind you. So
I want to do that. I say,
and of
tell
course,
me where the room is, but walk behind me.
and of course, your instinct is to put her on your shield side in case.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a really cool thing later on that you get to pick. You get to pick a defensive fighting style and everything, where you get to defend people around you with your shield,
Oh, that's pretty
which is
That's
really
pretty
cool. If they're standing anywhere close to you and somebody attempts to attack them, you just go like this with your shield and you block it.
Like, by the way you played last, I was like, dude, you make a pretty good paladin.
It's really neat. It's really cool. Okay, so you guys head up the creaky stairs.
I'm gonna walk relatively backwards. Bow knocked.
And at the top of the stairs is a little tiny hallway with a couple of doors off No? Really?
Getting you.
Down at the end of the hallway, there's an open door, and there appears to be candlelight flickering in the doorway. And Poppy sort of points to the end of the hallway and stops.
You can tell that she's like terrified. Yeah.
So I tell her, stay in the middle. I'm gonna walk with my shield like this.
Okay.
Poppy. Should we prepare ourselves for a fight?
I don't know if it will do you any good.
I'll take that as a yes. Is Ella, has she ever shown aggression?
No, she's a sweet little girl.
I'll take the lead. I want to sneak to the door.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
8 plus 7, so fairly well.
So he edges out in front along the side of the hallway.
And
That was good
I
timing.
stand back and
So,
watch Poppy.
Okay. She's not going anywhere.
is the door closed?
The door is open at the end of the hallway.
Is there other
That's what I
doors
was-
on the way to this door?
There are one or two, and they look like they go with bedrooms.
I'm just like going to keep my
There are
hand.
no, there are no fires burning in any of the other rooms other than the one at the end of the hallway.
Like,
I had asked in the field though, is there anybody else home besides Ella?
My husband should be here somewhere.
He's asleep.
I don't know.
So you haven't seen him since you've last seen him.
Not since this morning.
I ask you guys, maybe you should light your torches and clear the other rooms. I'm not trying to walk by and somebody get it attacked.
well, here's the thing: is like
He's almost to the end of the hallway.
I'm
so
gonna
he's
look back. I want to, like I said, the bow's knocked. I'm gonna hold up one hand to my other hand back like this, and I'm just going to like stare at you because you're the biggest, loudest person. I'm like,
Okay. Okay, I'll do this.
So I feel like we should all just kind of stay back and let
I'm just gonna like
Roki do the thing.
very. I'm just gonna peek. I'm just trying to peek in a room as cautiously as I can see.
It's a little girl's bedroom.
Mhm.
There's small furniture. There's a little dresser with a mirror over it. There's a cute little bed that's surprisingly close to the floor. It's like it doesn't have legs on it. All of the windows to the room are open. Curtains are blowing in the breeze. You can see little bits of rain coming in through the windows. And in the middle of the room,
Got her.
in a chair, appears to be a young halfling girl facing away from you.
Can I see the whole room at this point?
Yes.
And that's all I see.
Yeah.
Okay, at that point, I'm gonna put my hand down and put it back in my boa and gesture for the other guys to
Alright.
come.
It's not gonna work,
Go for it.
but I'm gonna try sneaking.
Go for it. You know what? Everybody can.
Told you it's not gonna work.
Aw.
So I'm,
So as he's coming down the hallway, you can tell he's trying to sneak, and he bumps into one of the tables on the end of the hallway and grabs it so it doesn't fall over. The girl doesn't move.
That's what I'm just like.
all right. I just walked down there.
Okay, so you're gonna walk down the hallway, and
I guess we'll follow suit. Are you gonna follow in? Well, I'll follow suit.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably
holding
not
back
that
or
big of a-
following with the
I'm gonna
girl.
hold back. You said there's 2 other rooms.
Good call.
Yes. There's no lights on in any of them. and-
Good call.
So there's one off the left, one off the right. The doors are across from one another. So if you stand in the hallway, you could actually watch both doors at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
As he approaches, I'll look at you and realize, go first.
Okay, so I walk towards the girl.
Okay.
I
So you're to one side of the door.
I'm on
With the
still on the
bow.
outside. Yeah.
You're gonna step into the room.
so I
Hold on one second. And
I'm going to stay outside the room.
You're gonna stay just outside the room. Okay. So you can all hear what happens next. You take a step into the room, and the little girl says, "Look, Mr. Wiccan, someone else has come to play with."
I'm ready.
And we're gonna stop there for the night.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, that was good.
I don't like this. I get nightmares.
I'm ready my shield. Just know that.
I like that app. That like I don't know, like it's just the perfect timing of like when you pressed it and like when it started and like when we
It's on a timer.
and like when we what's it called?
Oh.
Or like the way we were saying things every time like we would say something go ding 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 ding. It's like, oh.
Also, thanks for modifying that because that wouldn't have worked. Like you said, the one-handed
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like I can imagine that I'm big enough to do it.
Right.
You know, strong enough. But like, according to the game rules, I wouldn't be able to.
Do you have
So I'm
any
able to hold a
blanks
shield
Mhm.
and
that I
have a
can
battle
maybe-
axe.
Yep.
But I can pull that shield away and just
Yes.
what?
Do you have
Yep.
blanks under
You
there?
can drop the shield,
Yeah, I
put
wanna
it back
do
on your
that.
back.
To
Putting it back on your back would be a bonus action. So if you haven't taken a bonus action before, you can flip the shield back and grab the axe with both hands and still take your action.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I
bonus
assume-
action?
But yeah, putting the shield away rather than dropping it. If you just want to drop it, it's you'll still have a bonus action because dropping it doesn't take any time. But if you want to make sure that it'll be available to you if you need to grab it again, you can slip it back to your back. That's what shield proficiency does. Anyone can carry a shield, but you've actually trained in using it correctly and stashing it correctly and getting it off your back as quickly as you can, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that's why that's one of the when you hit second level, I believe. One of the things.
Even if it's invisible, say, would I be able to track where it is if I had my defined sense on?
If it qualifies as one of the things that you can see, that you can sense, then it doesn't matter whether it's invisible or not. So if there's something evil in the room, you can
Just in general, if it's
identify
evil.
where it is and the type of evil and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to be able to see it to be able to do it.
I can just automatically detect it.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you sense because your god has given you the ability to hunt down evil things. So you just know where it is. Do you ever do that? You walk into a room and you just get like a really creepy sensation, like there's something there. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
You get that creepy sensation. You go, I don't know what that is, but it's right over there. And I don't know.
Okay. So I'm really hoping this isn't a ghost
Well, what are you gonna do
because,
with this?
like, I don't have the ability where I can make a magical weapon yet. So, like,
Gee, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
What
Are
a
you
shame.
keeping these?
You guys can keep them with your characters if you want, or you can give them back to me to hold on to.
I will lose mine.
So I'll take
Put
I'll
on
take
your
whatever you guys
clipboard
want me to
and
hold.
we'll just
Literally
keep it
after
here.
our second session last time.
That's what I'm saying. Put it on your clipboard and I'll hold on to it.
If you wanted to hold on to this and keep that with the rest of them,
Yeah, that's the only copy I have, and I need Ethan's so that I can make a copy of it.
Oh, you need
I
mine?
will take
Yeah,
mine
just
whenever
your-
you- so
your
I don't
character sheet,
continue to
And
work
I'll
on
bring
it.
it back. I don't need the picture because that I have, but I just need to. Once I make a photocopy of this, then I'll have all these stats in front of me, and I don't need to ask you.
you should, like, photo or 3D print that. That would be awesome.
There's a company online that I found when I was looking at miniatures. If you send them pictures of the character that you want to play and you give them a general description of it, they
They
will
will make
3D
a
print miniatures of your character.
That's
All the
pretty
equipment
cool.
that they normally-
I have
Yeah,
seen
For how much, though?
Enough.
yeah.
I don't know. I
It's
don't know
more
if
than
they
you would
color or
want.
not.
Yeah.
I'm sure you maybe have to like color it, like do like a little miniature painting yourself.
No, you tell them what color armor they wear, what color
Well, I mean,
outfits they wear.
at that
they will-
point,
they will
that's
do
why
the
you
hand
paid a
painting
decent
for you.
price though, because they're
Yes.
doing everything you want.
Exactly.
You're buying-
all the stuff that's a pain in the ass that you probably
Exactly.
don't do.
That's what you pay for quality at that point.
Because you can go out and get a 3D printer, you can buy paints, you can
That's
do
what
all
I'm
that
saying.
stuff.
You know, actually, a lot of libraries have 3D printers available for free. You just have to, well, you have to find the area and then you have to like sign up for a time slot. But I know my friend works at one in Georgia, and she said
My school is now a magnet school for technology.
yeah.
So one of the things they
Same
invested
vein,
in,
right?
yep, one of the things they invested in is 3D printers.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That
they'll
is
be
pretty
available
cool.
for the students.
They
Just
already
like
are.
you know, I could use my defined sense to tell that you were a teacher because the way that you were stacking your papers, I was like, okay.
Too organized? Sorry.
Too
That's
organized.
cute. Maybe I should have been a teacher then.
So you got to give me a couple of sessions to get like the pacing back again because it's been a really long time
That's
since
all,
I've done
no,
one of these.
I think we all did really good at first session.
Oh, okay.
Getting the feel for each other and figure out each other's roles and like you're playing your character really good. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Have
are.
you ever watched any like D&D campaigns online or anything? Like
No,
that?
but I grew up playing like role playing games.
That's what I say. You caught on
Yeah.
really quick.
Yeah.
You do really good.
Well,
As
and
much
also the
as
more
I want-
experience you have, especially with the online stuff and everything, as long as you understand how the mechanics trade.
Yeah. The hard part for me is like going from first person to first
Yes.
person.
That's
That's
really
really
hard. That's really hard too.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone jumped in and they're like, we understand.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
You-
and
you
don't
said
I
earlier,
washed
too,
out
that-
your
I don't know
container.
how you said it exactly, but like it's an odd thing to use
Yeah.
to actually play the character, like in real person, versus making them do something. And they have their own script and stuff. Actually, you give them the script, and that's what's for me. That's the hook.
Yeah.
Because if I want to, I can walk up to a bar, stand up on the bar, and just piss everywhere.
Yeah.
Constables are probably gonna be called, but I can do that if I want.
It's okay. They
I
probably don't.
rinsed this out for you.
Oh, thank
I
you.
already fully washed it.
Thank you.
Sure if you want it.
It's okay. They probably don't have manacles small enough to hold you, so you're good.
All right,
Yeah.
just slip right out. I go around my ankles.
It still needs to dry out, buddy.
That's okay.
But
Oh,
so
all right.
leave it.
Thank you.
Ending the session.